go. So we're back with another one and probably the last one of the year. I'm not going to say that for sure yet, but I think it's going to be the last one of the year. The reason is we've got the charity tournament next week. I'm going to be honest, the charity tournament is a bit up in the air because I haven't done as much as I needed to, and I need a whole bunch of responses in the next 2 days. But hopefully we can get that all confirmed and the tournament can run next week. It'll run next Saturday and Sunday. But if not, it'll be last podcast of the year either way. But we've got a good one. We're going to end the year doing like a review of the year. That's the plan. We're going to do awards. That's what a large part of this is going to be. But we're going to touch on 2K24 as well. We've got a little bit of news. So let's get into the guests. And I'm going to do something fun this time with the guests. What I want you to do, just a controversial start, like straight out the gate. When I introduce you, I want you to give me a grade out of 10 for 2K23 MyTeam this year. Just a rating. And just because I think it will be the most fun place to start. How you doing, JD?
I'm good. How's it going? Let me just rack my brain to find a number.
Yeah.
A grade out of 10 for the entirety of the year. It's in the lower half of the spectrum. I'm gonna go like, I don't know, 3 off the top of my head. Maybe could be lower though. I don't know. Could be higher. I don't know. I'd have to give more thought, but I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with a 3.
I'm pleasantly surprised that you gave it a 3.
I'm starting generously. I don't want to lose all your viewers for you.
I'll go as well at some point. How you doing? All good?
All good, man. All good. Looking forward to getting into all the awards today.
Yeah. We did something similar last year, didn't we? Me and you on was it a WLN series? I can't remember what it was. We literally just did some awards, and that got controversial as well at times.
And I think today is going to follow that trend.
Yeah, 6 is crazy. 6 is crazy to decide, like, because we've got to come to a unanimous decision. This is going to be interesting. Mos, how we doing, man?
What's up? So, number out of 10. Let's start there. All right. So honestly, I'm not going with the 3 because 2K's picked it up, and I think the start of the year was pretty good. I think the potential is through the roof. It's just there was just so many things they did terribly wrong. They executed terribly, but just off how they've been ending it the last 2 seasons, I'm gonna give them more of a 7 because they had 2 seasons that were terrible. I can't wait to talk about that. But I think. Yeah, bro. But the beginning of the year, man, honestly, personally, I think I played this game so much from September, October, November, and I wasn't really upset with it. And then the past 2 months, they got me hooked again, but they had a dry spout for real.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, it's been a game of 3 parts. I think that's the way I kind of look at it. But yeah, I agree. One of those parts was in the mud, if I'm being honest. Ludes, how we doing?
Oh, we're doing good. I'm going to go with a 4.9 out of 10.
There's always one, isn't there? There's always one that has to avoid the round number. It had to be you, didn't it?
Well, no, I needed to knock an additional 0.1 off for still not giving me Greg Ostertag. So I had to do that. But I just feel like between 4 and 5 is appropriate. I think I might have given them maybe a 6 if they had, I don't know, put out anything at the beginning of the year that told anyone how to do the trophy case. That might have swayed my decision in some way, shape, or form, but I would say like an even like 5 is kind of appropriate for this year. I feel like they would give themselves a 5.
I think the fact that you're pretending that you didn't take away 5.1 grades because they didn't give you Ostertag is wild.
It's 0.1. I tried to give them the benefit of the doubt. They just don't know the sauce. It's not their fault.
He still might be on his way. I campaigned pretty hard since you guilt tripped me last week.
I know. I've seen that. I need them to recognize that this is what the streets need. If they want to make money, they have to put Ostertag in the game.
Just what?
Just how it is.
Cool beans. All right. Josh, how are we doing? Welcome back, by the way. You took no weeks off, but somehow have returned.
I'm doing all right. I would give this game, like, honestly, I couldn't really think of a number, but the number that did float around in my head a lot is 6. And like it started off good. Like, Mos was saying, there's definitely a lot of potential. And then like for me personally, it got to a point where I didn't play the game for like 2 seasons straight. And I just couldn't even be bothered. But what I'm seeing, like the things they added, it's like they took some things that I liked from a few seasons ago and kind of tweaked it in a way to make it more enjoyable, which it just doesn't make sense why you can't just start the year like that and finish strong. But I guess you live and you learn. So like the number I'd give this game this year is 6.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is this on your shoulders?
Oh, this is a comforter. I just put the AC on and I know myself. Like I'd rather be cold than hot, but I don't want to have to keep getting up to turn it off. So I just, bundle up appropriately.
You had the
Gotta-
same.
I
You had
gotta
a
hide the
similar thing
guns.
on last week, right?
Gotta hide the guns. You know what I'm saying? Like the gun
The
shows.
guns
you know?
is
You don't need to
Guns.
hide them. They hide themselves.
The,
The
Can
Derringers.
Can we get a hashtag comfy Josh in the chat, please? Matt, how we doing?
Pushing Josh.
What's good, man? What's good, everybody? So I would say this off the jump. Season 7 was to me a perfect 10. Love that season. And I could literally give it an average on each season, starting from season 1 to 8, but I'm not going to do that. But I'll say this for me personally. My team has been a straight up fat 1. And the reason why is because there's been so much.
Did you just give it a 1?
A 1. I'm going to give it a 1.
I know why I'm not the lowest here. You went lower than
That's not
me.
right.
You
Oh,
went lower than me.
No. I have to give it a 1, and for various reasons. Now, yes, season 7 was great. Even season 4 was amazing, man. But there was just so much, man, within the community that was just ugly, man. Back and forth, the mess between it with the bands and with everything going for. I can go into it. Pack odds, all that. I could talk about it. I'm looking at it right now, guys, and it's just. When I look at certain seasons and certain cards like Trae Young and whatnot, and when I think about the trophy case, I just want to vomit. I just want to throw up. I just want to just regurgitate because it's just that bad. Now I'll say this. Now season 7 has been amazing. Season 8 is on a great. I feel like we're getting there. I think, like Mo said, there's a lot of potential, man, going to 2K24. I don't want to sound ultra negative. Okay, my team, for anybody watching this, no matter what we think. It's all about what you feel, okay? So if it was a 10 for you, hey, that's what's up. If it was a 1 for you, I can understand and I relate and I agree. But the problem is this, man, no matter how we feel, whatnot, it's all about how we make it, okay? Regardless, you know what I'm saying? And when I look back each season, I know this, I tried my best to make it the best version for me. You know, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me. And each season,
make
man,
it the best
you know,
version for yourself when you still came up with a 1.
I won.
I believe you gave it a 1.
A one. That's all I could give it. And also, you know, and forget about the other things that's happened to me. You know what I'm saying? It's not nothing about that. It's just that for me, my personal experience, it was just bad this year. Now I'll say this: it's definitely been a 10 community wise because I have I've talked to and met and learned about new things within the community. You know what I'm saying? But this game here, boy, but 2K24 could be a dub. I think it could be a 9. It could be a 10. You know what I'm saying? I have high hopes. I'm optimistic. Forgive the ones, guys out there. But if you feel me, spam 1s in the chat. That's all I got to say on that.
Oh, God.
Spam the 1.
I'll give my grade as well. Obviously, we'd love to know what your grades are. If you're watching this, let us know what you're rating it out of 10. I'm going to give it a 5. Which is actually because I've been thinking about this for a few days, and I was going to go high. I was going to go.
I feel like you chastised me for giving it a 4.9, and then you turned around and gave it a 5.
I chastised you for giving it a 4.9 instead of a 5.
I mean, you're lucky I only took off 0.1 for no Oster tag.
Why am I lucky?
I don't know. That's a good question, actually.
That no sense. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 5 because I think it has. It's either been good or bad. It just the whole year has been at a point where it's either been good, we've been enjoying it. There's certain things I liked more than most. I didn't mind the trophy case as much as most people did. I think it was actually a really interesting way to start the year, a break from the norm, all of that stuff. Season 7 is kind of it is in isolation. Like I think it's such a good season, but it was in isolation. But it was that good a season to me. I think it's the best season they've ever done. But it was surrounded in a sea of not so good seasons. I think 5 is actually, I think, the accurate rating for this game. I think, you know, if they kept season 7 up all year, it'd be a 9 or a 10. If they kept season 5 up all year, you know, Matt's probably right. That's probably where we would have been sitting. So I think it's, yeah, I'm gonna say that. Just as a general idea, and again, get involved in the chat in this. Better or worse than 22? What do you guys think?
Like, what do you mean seasons in general, or like
just the game as a whole?
The game as a whole,
Worse.
I would say that it was better in 22. Yeah, I feel like, well, I mean, I preferred the gameplay in 22 for sure, but that's because I like to shoot a lot of threes. So, you know, obviously I was never going to be a huge fan of this year. But I feel like the game overall was just more consistent in 22, but it still had the same issues. I feel like people just overlook a lot of the issues because it was more consistent and didn't change a bunch of things up, and the gameplay was overall just more fun. So I feel like that's why people have a more fond memory of 22 than it actually was, because we still had end games, we still had the same bad pack odds, like everything was the same. It's just people enjoyed playing it a little more.
Yeah. I think how big a factor do you guys think gameplay plays in how people feel about this year?
Big. Like a
Huge.
huge factor. Things like 80% of like how people feel about the game, because it's like the content. Not to say content has to be bad, but content could be decent, and if the gameplay is good, I think most people they're like, oh, we want to see more of this. Because like last year, was it? Yeah, they kept releasing the same. But was it last year where they kept releasing the same cars, like with different sets, like different versions of the cars?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
To me,
six
that
versions
was
of
like,
card.
yeah, like to me that was bad. Like I'm like, yo, you guys have running out of ideas, but the gameplay was more tolerable, so it wasn't like I wasn't miserable playing the game, especially later in the year. So yeah, I definitely would say gameplay plays a huge
It's kind of
factor.
ironic that if that came back now, people would celebrate, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
No, we
if
wouldn't.
we
Are
got
you-
5 different versions of the
No,
endgame
we
cards.
would not. We would not. I promise. People would celebrate for like the taco packs, and then after that, people would be irritated about it because it was not cool. Like, was it nice that everyone had an affordable version of taco that could compete? Sure. Was it nice that every time we got a new pack for like 2 months, it was just 2 players and there was 18 versions of them? No, that sucks so bad.
I feel like you
awful.
really understated that first point, though. You said it so casually. You said
What?
That's a
everyone
huge
had a
part.
really good version of taco, like it wasn't a massive.
Like
that could run.
Yes, for one pack, that was really good. Okay. Like if they do that for like 1 or 2 cards, like all right, cool. But it's like when you're getting that 2 times a week for 2 months, it just gets so stale. But that's from me. I just like to have like a bevy of like random NBA players to choose from. Like I want like a 99 overall Ronnie Cycli. Like I just want things like this, dude. Like, that's all I want. Right? That's all. That's the
I
reason I
just
started
realized
playing.
who I'm having this conversation with. Yeah.
Yeah, and like that's why I started playing MyTeam in the first place. Like the reason I started playing this game mode in the first place was to use like random NBA players that I have knowledge of for no reason whatsoever. And they kind of strayed away from that last year, and it was irritating, especially at the end of the year. At the end of the year, dude, just start dropping 99s of whoever. It really doesn't matter. Like no one's going to care if there's a 99 Contavious Caldwell Pope at this point, like, or Kelly Tripucka or whoever.
I mean, they
Just
kind of
drop
have
them.
been doing that. That, like, I've been using that Varejao for the last week.
Yeah, they've done it, but they've only put out like 6 cards. So,
I feel like those alternate, how we've had like end games, invincibles, and then like 2 other cards. Those 2 other cards tend to be like pretty interesting. We've had for me already, we've had Larry Johnson, who I've used, Varejao, who I'm literally running through. We got Giddy this week, it's really good.
Giddy
I
is
saw
fantastic.
most quick sell Giddy on the no auction house yesterday. Can we
Giddy
talk about that real quick?
actually has a good card.
Most.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, he is
Jump shot's
incredible.
Awful. How's the jump
Poku
shot?
though. Poku. He's him.
Yeah, Poker is good. Most, you quick sold Giddy on no auction house. Talk to me about this.
Bro, I quick sold Giddy and Poku, man. I'm only looking for Ja right now, so don't even get me started. If I don't get him soon, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But literally, I've quick sold my whole collection from top to bottom. I don't have a single thing I could quick sell anymore. Not even shoe boost. Like I've went through every single collection trying to do what I could do. And bro, I'm doing exhibitions. I'm rebuying like the pieces from the gold token market. I'm out of everything, and I'm still trying, and I'm not gonna.
You
stop
sound
till
like
I
me,
do.
man. That's what I used to do when I went up. Well, I rip packs though when I do that. Like I go through, I sell shoes, I sell boosts, I sell players I don't use no more. If I really don't want to wait and they like a ruby or low, I'm quick selling them. Like get out of here.
You're
I'm
saying that
ripping
like
packs,
you
so.
do that like regular. You play like 2 hours a month, like raising off MT for like 1 pack, open it, and then that's your entire.
And
season.
if I don't get nothing good, that's it. Like I'm done for the season. That's it. That's my season right there.
You play
The
my
fate of the
team.
season.
You play my team like somebody's forcing you to do it for community service.
That's messed
Yeah,
up.
that's literally what it is. I after season, it was so much. It was like after season 6, I think, and then Jazz stopped playing co-op, and then Rye stopped playing co-op. I'm like, I got nobody to run co-op, but the only game mode keeping me on this game, and then I wasn't enjoying the game. I said, hey man, F my team, man. I gotta take a little break. Had to do some soul searching.
Josh?
Oh yeah, let's play
Make
co-op.
you feel
Man. Let's
better.
do that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm gonna run LaMelo.
Okay, I'm gonna run Varejao, so it's gonna be good. Most, are you doing? I don't know if this is right or not. Are you doing Larry Bird again?
Yes, this is my second Larry Bird. I'm 3 teams away. I did it both ways. So I did it the
Wow.
first original
Why do you
trophy
sound
case.
excited by this?
Yo, no, because I'm happy that I'm done. I'm almost done. I have 3 teams left. I started it from like I did it the first time, which honestly the first time was so much worse. Like I wish they dropped it the second way the first time. Like they should have dropped it from the beginning if you did it with different teams, blah blah blah. I think that would have been way better like way to go at it. But yeah, don't think I'm excited. I'm not. I'm just glad that I'm almost done. And I'm happy that I did it twice so I can actually talk and live like I live the tale, you feel me? Like I can be here and be like, yo, I'm him. I'm sorry for saying it, but I'm him. And I don't know why I did it. At the end of the day, I'm doing it for 50K so I could pull Ja. And I hope 2K gods are listening and like reward me with Ja. That's all I care about.
Oh my god,
You different,
That's
dude.
insane.
You are different.
For
That is
50K,
wild.
that's wild.
I can't
Say
even do
that.
level 40, bro. And you over here talking about Larry Bird, bro. It just made my stomach hurt, like grinding the game.
3
Jeez.
times though.
Oh
Thrice.
my gosh, thrice.
I
Like,
think
Right.
Moses' entire approach to this game is he wakes up and he's like, how can I make my life difficult today?
Dang.
No lie, man. That's what gets me through. Otherwise, I get bored, bro. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, I feel like we've all played this game enough, and we're all really good at it. Like, JD's the best no money spent player. Like, you can
Debatable.
go down the list, right?
Yeah,
Nah,
not,
bro.
not these days.
No. I'm just saying, like, we've all accomplished so much, and I'm just saying here, like, how can I make it harder? Because I don't want to do this again. Like, I love my team, but I just want to put like I just want to like straight jacket, and I have to get myself out somehow. So it makes it more fun for me.
I like Houdini. You think you're Houdini? The Houdini of 2K. That's what it is. Yeah.
That's what it is. Yes, sir. I like that.
Houdini.
Okay.
It is that time of year though, isn't it? It is like you got to do that now. Like you have to do that now. If you're still playing the game now and you're not out there just cooking with random cards and just trying to have some fun running theme teams, whatever, like no one cares about rewards anymore, right? Like
Right.
none of them are going to run for more than 2 weeks anyway, right? Like that's
No, I'm just here for all-time teams now. That's literally
Most
all
I did.
do.
Most I'm similar in the sense though, like literally right before I stopped playing, it was around the playoffs. I got the entire Knicks roster, like the playoff roster. I adjusted the minutes to like the games that they played, put auto coach settings on, auto timeout, and I would play people online. And I have some like really close games, but then there's that one guy with the sweat team. He sees you're trying to have fun. He's full court pressing you. Jalen Brunson gets the ball. He's sending 3 bodies. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. And I finished that season 5-20, by the way. So yeah, it wasn't that fun.
I did the most impressive thing I've done all year this week.
What is it?
I scored a 4-pointer with level 40 Trae Young.
You
That's not-
use
that's
that
not
card?
real.
Oh my
Man.
god, you remembered it existed?
You willingly use that card.
Bro, I was on stream and I was like, stream could pick my team. So I was playing clutch time. We did like 4 or 5 games where they JD, you were on the stream for a bit. You raided me halfway through it, I think. You gave me Peja.
I did.
As you raided me, I hit a 4-pointer with gold Charlie Ward, by the way, at the exact time.
The next card, right? Yeah.
Charlie
Yes.
Ward's fire.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, they were just the chat was just being gremlins. Like they were literally like, how miserable can we make this guy? I ran one my backcourt was Muggsy and Boykins in one game. Yeah, it's pretty bad. But I actually
did you make the pass?
refused. The first card I refused to use was Trae Young. I was just like, I'm not using it. Like I just refused. This I have trauma from this card. You know the worst thing about that card, because we're probably going to touch on this later, because he's going to win.
The passing vision.
Oh.
Pass
The
accuracy.
fact that it exists is the worst thing about it.
The 98 pass accuracy, right?
Yeah.
The worst thing about that card is it was so bad, and we had to use it to get Kemp. It was the one season where they did beyond level 40.
I know, and Kemp sucked, so it was like double bad.
Kemp was all right. He didn't
Kemp
suck.
was good. He didn't suck. Don't do that.
He's all right. He was okay.
I'll take him.
He sucked for what you had to do to get him. Let me put it that way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He was no point guard Big Blake. Let's go there.
Blake hasn't been good in this game in a very long time.
Nah, he was a
the
god
last
in
2 years.
21. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, that's 2 years.
Yeah.
That's too long. He hasn't been good in this game for like
I would
2
have took a
years.
point guard Blake over him though, for sure.
No, you wouldn't have. That slow ass release. And Blake got a hitch in his jump shot. I hate it.
Yeah, but
Right.
but at this year in season, what was that, 4? I would have took a point guard Blake. He would have been so annoying.
You know what? Truth be told, do you feel that if they switched season 3 and season 1 around, would have been better? Like Trae being season 1 and Pippen being season 3, because Pippen was good. Like
For a
he was
long time.
tough
Really
for
For
a minute.
long time.
If it was an Opal Pippen, because we got an
Yes.
Opal Pippen shortly after that.
That's what I'm saying.
And a Pink Diamond Trae. Yeah, it would have been better because people were still running like Garland and like Donovan Mitchell and
Donovan
like
Mitchell.
smaller guards in season 1. So I'm not going to say Trae would have been top tier, but he would have definitely been
He'd been
usable. Yeah.
I'm going to be honest with you. There ain't a day they could have dropped Trey where I would have used him. That card is garbage.
You hate that card. I was on stream, guys, and I had that card on my stream. He said, "Why am I looking at this?
Get this card off my screen.
Get this card off my screen."
I hate that card. I hate it. It's trash.
It's
if they'd given it free with the game, I would have run a gold over it. I hate it.
I know, but I feel like you hate it from when it came out, though. I feel like if it came out in season 1, it still would have been a terrible level 40 reward for sure. Do not get me wrong, but I feel like some people could have made use of it.
Within 2 weeks, I had Amethyst, Steph Curry, and Diamond Donovan Mitchell. Trey Young would not have played even at the start of the game.
I just feel like, I'm not saying he's good, but you could have ran him. You could have. Hypothetically speaking, you could have done it. It's just, it wasn't likely.
There's a lot of things I could do, but I care too much about my mental health. Right.
My disdain for Trey Young runs deeper than 2K. Like, so I just don't like him.
Yeah, Trey over Brunson.
Would you just say, Luke?
I was.
I said you hate him because of Brunson.
Brunson's better than him. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Way better.
Here we go, man. Real quick though, concerning season 3, while we're on that, man, the only good thing that came out of it was that Deck the Halls, what it was, those rewards, man. Cards such as like Michael Cooper, man, DeAndre Ayton, man, he played for me. Mike Miller was a beast. And Glenn Rice, man. Those guys could have been level 40, man, and I would have enjoyed it, man. But Trey was just awful, man. He was horrific.
True.
Even John Stockton, even though he was, Stockton base, I love. I would have ran him before Trey. That's just me.
Yeah.
Well, I'm running Ruby Trey right now. Ruby Trey, so I can finish my trophy case. That's one of the 3 teams I have left. I have to drop 40 with him twice. So don't get started about Trey right now. I'm using the Ruby. So
we done got started. We talk. I know you going through it right now. I know you feeling it, man. Ruby Trey wasn't bad for its time though. Ruka, go ahead, Jazz. I'm sorry.
Should we talk about 2K24? I'm getting depressed.
Before we get to more
the Trey talk is hurting
because it's about to come back round as well. He's going to win some awards today. I think
he's going to win a few awards. Yes,
I think so. By the way, the awards aren't all like best. A lot of them are worst as well. So yeah, we're gonna have some fun with it. JD, there's a salary cap mode. We don't really know what it means yet. What's your thoughts on it?
I didn't really play much in 2K18, and I know that's when we had Supermax before, so I can only really go off like what I've heard about that game mode, which wasn't great. So hopefully it's not just like a copy and paste of that. But salary cap, I'm not mad at it. I like it. If we can be able to use different tiers all year round, and they've actually got value and worth, and we can use them in a competitive setting that aren't going to be like massively disadvantaged. Yeah, I think it'd be good. It shouldn't replace Unlimited, or like Unlimited should have something else there. It shouldn't replace a different game mode. It should be its own thing. 2K usually adds something and takes something away. It should just be like another game mode added to the game. But I'm good with it. I'm excited for it. I want to hear more about it.
Do you think there's enough room for a salary cap mode and limited though, or do you think they're just too close?
I think we can scrap limited in the format that it is, because it's this year. I mean, that might win an award today, but limited the way it is,
it might.
People ain't going to shed a tear if that disappears.
Yeah, I have a concern about the salary cap mode.
Talk about it.
So there's 2 ways I can see a salary cap mode being done, like hypothetically. If there's another one, let me know what it is, because I don't know. There's only 2 ways I could think of this working. The first one is, because I don't think it's going to be Supermax. I don't think it's going to be anything to do with that or close to it, or it's a similar structure. I think it's going to be entirely new. The 2 ways I can see them doing it are they cap like gem tiers, right? Which literally just makes it limited. That's the same mode. The second way to do it is to assign like a financial value to each like gem tier or card or whatever, and then give you an overall that you can use, right? So Dark Matter's worth $5, whatever, and you have $30 to build a team, right? That's the more traditional way, I guess, a salary cap is done. But if they do that, isn't what's going to happen everyone just runs a 5-man?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, how they did it in Supermax and 2K18 was not great. Assigning like a monetary value to every single card. And if I'm not mistaken, I honestly gave up on 2K18 like about a quarter halfway through the year, but I believe they started to lower higher tier cards towards the end or something. I vaguely remember somebody saying this. I don't know how accurate that is, so don't crucify me in the chat right now because I don't remember. But I just feel like I'm hoping that they have a way to combat like 5-manning, like you said, because it is just going to be a problem towards the end.
I think
if they do like an overall number system, people are just going to 5-man with the worst possible golds they can find on their bench.
I think with that though, to add on to what you said, Jazz, like if people gonna run 5-mans, I think 2K is gonna try to counter it by like hitting stamina hard, which is gonna be, I think it's gonna create another issue within the gameplay, like for the community. So I feel like they got to be really careful if they do, like, you know, with how they approach the whole salary cap system, and think about like all possible issues that could come up and how they could counter it and neutralize it.
The stamina's a tricky one, right? Because it's really hard to get it balanced. Like if you're trying to build it in now to like protect the mechanics of a game mode, right? So you're trying to push the stamina up so people are forced to use their bench. We're already at a point where some of my players do 2 dribble moves and they have a collapse lung and have to leave the game. Like it's how far can we push that before it like literally interferes with every...
We're also at the point too, though, that like you could run into a 5-man in limited and they'll just run Gatorade symbols all day because they're just going to do backdoor cuts and dunk on you every possession. So it's like it matters, but it also doesn't. It only matters for like 1 or 2 play styles, really.
Yeah. How do you think this is going to work? Because Supermax, like, I know a lot of people liked it, but I think generally it's considered the worst main mode 2K have ever had. Like that's why
I don't remember it being that bad. Like maybe I was oblivious to it at the time because like I wasn't like the way I played the game now. I didn't play it like that back then. I just feel like generally speaking, it's a good idea. I actually thought at first it would create a lot of diversity and lineups, but then, you know, with the meta, like if there's a certain cards that do certain things better than other cards, you know, you might see the same lineup a lot. So I feel like it's definitely a tricky spot to be in, but I am hopeful to what 2K can do.
I mean, 4 out of 5 people will probably say 2K18 is the worst MyTeam ever, and the reason they'll give is Supermax because of their lack of logic.
I've played 2K18, like I was streaming at that time, and I used to actually do Supermax for money. Like people used to pay me to get the leaderboards and stuff because you used to get a prize like every week. So I used to love that aspect of it. Like it would be like you get a Porzingis this, that like you can't get any other way or whatever. So it was really cool in that aspect. I think the main issue with that mode was really just the system, the point system. Like you could play a sweaty dude, and if you beat him, like you're getting like 30 points to your leaderboard score, which you're not moving up the ranking at all. But once you lose about 200, like to anybody, even if you lose by 1 or 2 points. So it was just a terrible system in that aspect. I think they just needed to restructure that part of it.
Yeah.
And then I was just looking back to basically how like teams were set up, and I pretty much everyone ran a 5-man in Supermax. I don't think anyone ran anything else, to be fair. And the way it was really done, like the way their point system really ran, I think they need to bring that back, which was if cards are being used, like if everyone's running Taco Fall, that card is worth a lot.
Okay,
but
thank you for explaining this too, by the way. I appreciate it.
No problem. I know a lot of people didn't really play back then, but I've been playing forever. So the other way is so for example, if no one's, you're gonna have mad fun with this because you play with cards that no one else runs with. So like that card is gonna worth nothing. Like a Ruby card that no one runs is gonna be worth like 100, but a guy that everyone runs is gonna be worth 400, 500. So that kind of was the aspect that they were running behind. So like once a new card drops, their price is kind of low, but by next week his card is worth more. And you feel me? So
that's what people were saying. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I like how you said that Ludes runs like obscure cards out of choice, not that he didn't pack a single card the entire year.
No, there's some cards I run by choice. Like I'm not running, you know, the homie Greg Ostertag or like Ronnie Cycli because like I have to. I do it because they're awkward white guys, and you know.
Is that the template? Is it okay?
Yeah, I like to give myself a disadvantage. So,
what do you guys think the salary cap mode is going to be? Like, if you had to predict now, what do you think it's going to be? Because I'm really stumped on it. I'll be honest.
I want to add just this, and I'll shut up. If it's better than draft, I'm for it. If it's better than limited, I'm for it. I'm not. Maybe I have a lack of creativity, but I'm not into GM modes like that. And really, honestly, the way I look at it, if this mode is for the whole MyTeam, which I don't think it is, hopefully it's not, then I don't think it's going to be. If it is for it, I'm not going to play it. I mean, it's going to be unplayable for me because who are you to tell me that I can't use such and such card that I pay for? Okay, or that I grind for, you know what I'm saying? That's just me. Who are you to tell me that I have to be restricted for what? You know what I'm saying? This is a fantasy mode. But now if it is just a single mode, I think it'll be fun and I would like to play it, you know, and something that would be fresh and newer for for players that didn't play back into 2K18 and whatnot. And I'm very optimistic for it overall. I think it could really be something. But if it's like generally for the whole mode, which I don't know, do we even know if it's for the whole mode?
We don't really.
We don't know how
I think we're going to find out very soon. I think we're going to find out a lot more.
Okay.
Really soon,
I think it might be Supermax 2.0.
You would be annoyed if it replaced Unlimited, is what you're saying. If it became like the main mode.
No, if it did replace Limited, I would not be. I mean, if it's better than Draft, it's better than especially get Draft out of there, by the way. But if it's better than Limited, I'll be forward. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm saying if it replaced Unlimited, if it became the main mode, you would be annoyed.
I mean, we would just have to see. That's up in the air. I mean, because we don't know what we're. I can't even answer that. I don't even know what we're looking.
I have a hot take about Draft. I think
you have
Draft
a hot take with everything, man.
This is like, all right, here's my thing with Draft. I think Draft is actually not a bad game mode. And the only reason that people don't play it more consistently, because I think it's a really, really perfect casual game mode. So you can go play and not get sweated by some dude named like XX crossover with a bunch of like numbers in it.
Did you literally just say JD's?
That's JD.
What are you doing?
I mean,
He's
not wrong, to be fair. Like,
he didn't throw shade. He threw the whole damn tree, man.
To be honest, I did not know your gamer tag. Anyways, no, but just like some sweaty guy who takes 2K too serious. Like, you're right. JD's not a regular unlimited sweat, like I'm referring to, right? Like JD's not gonna. No, he's not going to beat me and then send me 47 party invites and like a message about how I suck,
48.
right? Yeah. But
never seen
Draft is
JD
like,
off stream, obviously.
I guess, but Draft I think is like the perfect casual mode. I think they like did a good job implementing it. I think it's like the perfect. Yeah, it's like the perfect mode for somebody who just is like, I kind of want to play online and like see if I'm good at this, but like I don't have the cards, so like I'll go play Draft or whatever. The only issue with Draft is that they charge you to play Draft. If they just made it free, it would be the perfect mode for casual players to play. Like, I know people in real life who don't play this game like that, but they're interested in the mode of Draft because they're able to go in there and use cards they don't have access to. And it's randomized. You don't have to like think about like your lineup like that.
I would assume it's the first online mode that any newbie plays, right?
Yeah, it would be. It's the idea behind it is to be the first online mode. It's like an intro to the online world of MyTeam. Now, charging 21,000 MT, which anybody who is going to go play Draft for fun, realistically, it's going to take them a little while to get 21,000 MT. Like, we're all super sweats who have been playing this game for years, so like getting 20,000 MT isn't that hard. Yes, it's 21K or VC.
No VC,
yes.
You get to pay.
Yeah,
That's
or
like
VC.
4 Dark Matters right now.
Yeah, and they, they obviously give you tickets throughout the year, but you have to like grind and play the game to get the tickets. So it's like, if they were to just
not this year, then you give you one. They give you one per season.
That is how long it's been since I've played Draft. I have 6 of these tickets. I've never used them. But if they were to just make Draft a free mode to play, and honestly, they don't even have to put rewards in it, really. Like, they can just leave it as a casual mode. I think people would enjoy it a lot more. And I think it's fine. And actually,
that's interesting.
Yeah, because I mean, if they don't have rewards in it, super sweats don't play it, right? Because your average person doesn't play this game for rewards, right? They just kind of like want to go play the game. So having Draft mode not really be incentivized too heavily, like you can get your little MT. I mean, the rewards in Draft are terrible anyway. Just keep them the same and no one will play it. I think a lot of casual players will warm up to online play through Draft and then be massively disappointed when they go into Unlimited and get absolutely dumpstered on. But Draft could be beneficial to the game mode. So I think it's a good thing for them to keep it. Just don't charge people to play it because that's the dumbest thing you could possibly do.
People sweat Draft, Ludes. Let me tell you something. When we had to grind for it, or it was a prerequisite for something, people were sweating out there. Now, the pay for play aspect of it, I agree with you 100%. I think with them, allowing us to play with cards that we normally wouldn't, play with is fun. But all in all, for me, I felt like Draft was a bad experience, especially because of the rewards. The lack of rewards. If we had a reward, it was recycled, my man, and that's what really turned me off. But I agree with you with the rest of it. It really is fun besides that. So
it needs to be updated more throughout the year. I mean, you could go into it now. I did one just for like, I say fun. I made the draft itself. And you get Ruby cards, and we're in mid-July. Like, people don't want to play with Ruby cards. You get 1 Ruby, 1 Amethyst, and then it goes like 1 Dark.
Do you know what it is, JD? It's a salary cap mode now.
Pretty much. Maybe they were trialing it. I don't know, but I don't think it worked well as a trial.
I loaded up Draft the other day just for kicks, because I've got tokens. I might as well use them. Guess what the Dark Matter my opponent had was first game?
Taco.
End game.
The worst card you could possibly imagine running into when you've got Ruby at small forward.
Wemby.
Yeah.
Oh, Wemby.
Do you know what I did?
Sounds like a
Wait.
skill issue.
Close that.
He
It
close.
was the first time I loaded up draft in 3 months, probably.
Yeah.
I saw Wemby line up. I was like, oh, this guy could be. This could be the first game he's ever played. And he's going to beat me. My roomie is not guarded Wemby.
I'm currently
Who's
doing
your
a
roomie?
draft right now.
Oh, I don't know, some trash can.
Like I
was
literally
around
am
this,
and just doing a draft right now. Like I'm just seeing what I'm getting because I just want to see like how terrible it actually is at this
Oh,
current
it's
moment.
terrible.
And
Oh,
I have to say, I've gotten nothing but all-time cards
Yep.
for the last like 5 minutes. I have Carlos Boozer, Darius Garland, and all-time cards right now.
That
Like,
sounds
what
like
I
a good
have.
lineup, bro. I'm
It's
not gonna lie.
heavy.
That's you can hoop with that. You can
You
go on with
just-
that.
I just
Skill
if,
issue.
Josh is
Oh,
like, that's
and-
my current lineup.
and season 3 Sean Kemp. I just got season 3 Sean Kemp. Shout out to that.
Nice. Ball
Ah,
out in July,
fuck.
man. Ball out.
We are looking real bad right
Oh,
now.
wow.
It's looking pretty gross. I don't even have a center on my roster. It's pretty tight. I'm messing with it. So
You about to load up against XX crossover. Watch.
oh yeah, 100%. It's rough. No, I'm sorry. I got Diamond Marcin Gortat, so we're looking real good right now.
I can't wait till next year and with crossplay so I could load up against Luz and he sees Star J Barrett. He's just gonna be struck with fear, because he knows he's playing the biggest Knicks fan.
Yes, yeah, I
I'm
am
definitely
playing
gonna
the
full court
biggest
press you.
Knicks fan. No, you're not
If-
the
if
biggest
I-
Knicks
no.
fan.
And if I ever come across like even you, Matt, if I ever come across you, cross my screen,
Come
full
on.
court press. Go
Come
for
on,
it, bro.
please. You're gonna have
Full
to.
court press.
Because you know I'm
No,
coming.
I'm
with
not
you.
gonna have
With
to.
traps.
No.
I'm a
Yeah,
trap
okay.
you. I'm gonna let
You
you know
gonna
that
try
right
me?
now.
Full
Yeah.
court press.
Pistons,
And I'm
Pistons,
dot-
Pistons versus Knicks.
Throwing dots, bro. Dots, straight greens out the
Bring
corner, bro.
it.
Don't even.
Hey, break.
Yeah.
Listen to me. Listen. Crossplay.
Yeah, that was the best transition ever. I was literally waiting to say cosplay.
Wait, can I go first real quick? Because I actually really love drafts. Like as a person, I know I'm one of the only people, but because last year it was helping me get XP because it was working. You feel me? Like as a no auction house, I was able to go in there every time and it was working. And then they took that out last year randomly. They were like, "Oh, you can't do this no more." Right? So it was like excluding draft in every single thing. So I was like, "What are they doing?" Blah blah blah. I kind of complained about it, and they brought it back this year. But then they took away the whole tickets thing, which made it you have to pay. So I'm glad like we are all on the same page. That's something they gotta fix if they're gonna put it back in the game. And obviously, I think the rewards are really big, man. I like you don't even get MT for playing the game. That's really bad. Like you win the whole game, you play all 10, you're not getting MT. That's one. Two, like there was a draft mode before, like a long time ago, that sucked really, really bad. You only got gold players,
It
but
was the gauntlet, right? Something like that.
No, pack and playoffs.
Yeah.
Pack and playoffs.
Pack in playoffs.
That was a long time ago.
yeah, but that one at least, like if you got to the board, there was cards like on there that you couldn't get anywhere else, and there was multiple of them. So like you can make it to the next ascension, and you'll see another card that was nowhere else. So I think they need to bring something like that back. And then speaking about modes in general, last year we got clutch time for the first time, and it was the best mode in the game. I think we all enjoyed that. And this year we got co-op, which was really, really great. So I'm really optimistic because the 2 years they brought in a new mode, it was the best. So I'm really optimistic
That was
that
on
this
the money.
year it might be the best mode, the salary cap one. Maybe, who knows?
There's a lot of things you can criticize 2K for, but actually you're absolutely right. The last 2 years, they've introduced a mode each year, which has been the best mode each year.
That's facts.
That's a fact. Yeah. You know what else is interesting, Mose? What you just said about you said the rewards are good in draft, right?
No, I'm saying they suck.
No, they stink.
They suck. I think they need to make them better.
Right. I thought you said that. It's interesting because like the way you play this game is actually probably closer to the way a casual plays this game than any other content creator, right? Because we get like endgame brain, don't we? Where like if it's not a top 3 card, it's garbage. But you don't think like that because you don't have the privilege to think like that because of the way you play this game, right? You take what you can get, and you're going to get more use and more value, or be more excited about getting a Baron Davis than I will because he's not even going to be a top 10 point guard in my squad. But actually, the vast majority of people who play this game, that's how they play it. Like they will be excited to get some of these cards and some of these rewards, and be a bit wider, like you're chasing John Morant now. That is something a casual might be doing right now. None of us are doing that.
Most, I have a question too. Like Jazz just made me think about something, saying like you probably play the game closest to how a casual would play. Do you think that allows you to like be more understanding of like what the community needs or like what could be helpful towards the community, being that you play the game that way? And like you see, like he says,
You
we
mean
have
like the
endgame
wider
brain.
community, right?
The what?
The wider community.
The why?
Yeah. Because the community just wants Wemby and nothing else.
Yeah, they just want Wemby. Yeah. like the majority of the community. Do you feel like that helps you get a better understanding of what they need and what's required?
Yeah, I think so. I think plus also like that, like I like the way you put it, but yeah, I definitely do agree with that. And I think me just playing for all this time, like I see like the value in certain rewards and where things should be fixed, like in a sense. Like I personally, we were talking about gameplay earlier. I don't think the gameplay is the real issue with this 2K. Yeah, it is an issue, but at the end of the day, it's just like maybe the spacing of cards. Like we shouldn't have gotten all these big cards so early. Or we shouldn't have gotten all these like glitched or PGs so early. Like that stuff really messes up with me because I don't have an auction house, right? So now I can relate with the rest of the community. Like, yo, why is there Ben Simmons that I have no answer to? I have no answer to Taco like at all. There was no answer for Taco for so long, and that really messes up with the casual, like because we can't get these cards, right? And that's where I relate, like you guys said. But yeah, so they just need to slow down the spacing. I think they did a really bad job this year, and that was the main issue, in my opinion.
It's ironic because I think 2K22 was the best job they ever did for pacing, and they followed it up with, I think, the worst job they ever did for pacing. And,
agreed. There really wasn't a crazy amount of overpowered cards in 2K22 until we got like Luka, but that was really just on next gen. I mean, Jordan to a certain extent, but
I mean, Jordan was also 6'6", right? Running like he was the best point guard in June.
Yes,
like that was the level of pacing we had last year. It was really good. Really good. Crossplay. Let's touch it. We kind of touched on it a little bit last week. Let's touch on it a little bit more this week. I still think it's being massively downplayed. Does everyone else feel like that?
100%. Like
I do understand. I do understand that this should have happened sooner and all of this, and this is kind of the kind of snarky response to crossplay. But it's still happening, right? And it's happening now, and it should be something to be excited about. I feel. The thought of me playing co-op with Ludez next year is something I'm excited about. Like genuinely,
you shouldn't be.
Is it being downplayed? Go on, Josh. What were you saying?
Yeah, no, I was gonna just say real quick. Like I remember too. Like I think 2 years ago when you first started the podcast, I had brought up like, what if they added crossplay? And we were both at a point where it was like, we doubt like it would happen anytime soon, but it needs to happen. And the fact that it's actually here, it's like I'm super excited. And I do think it is being downplayed a lot because I'm seeing people who's like, oh, I stopped playing this game months ago. Oh, the game still sucks. Fix your game. And then this automatic negative like assumptions like, oh, the server's gonna be fried and crash. And like, I don't know about everyone else, but like from my experience the last few years, I have not had server issues. Like there's been very rare. Like unless it was like, I know last year or was it 2 years ago when we have like a really big pack drop, it would be very hard to get into the game. That's the only time I can remember server issues happening. But other than that, server issues hasn't been really an issue.
The servers are good. Like this year, next gen, no issues. We haven't had any pack drop like where the games have gone down. You don't get the 70% glitch. I'm hooping on East most of the time. You're hooping on EU most of the time. Servers are fine.
I don't know where it's coming. I'm like, it's just like y'all using old excuses. Like just be excited. Just be excited. Like obviously have your, you can have your suspicions, but like don't. This is big for the game mode. I don't care what anyone says. This is big for the game mode, and if they do it the right way, I feel like this could be a really big 2K. Like historically speaking.
What are y'all talking about? No, what are y'all talking about? The servers are bad.
Yeah, the servers are objectively bad.
They're horrible.
The servers
what
bad.
are y'all talking about?
No, you guys.
It can't be a server thing if we don't have it. Like
because you're in New York, you're in East, and so like you don't really have connection issues with like Jazz's server because you're relatively close from a server perspective. But like anybody who plays on like the West servers, it's rough. For sure. I have server issues for sure. I'm not even on West, but I still have server issues. I mean, there's a latency. I mean, Xbox in general has latency, but like...
Just to be clear, there's a C between me and my server.
Yeah, I know. And it's still not as bad as like playing on West, I promise. Yeah, that's a good thing.
I think some people get like game mechanics and server issues mixed up. I'm just going to put it out there.
I'm also going to say that this year, due to the way the game has kind of transitioned and how it plays, you notice server issues a lot more this year than you would in previous years. Because last year, like 80% of whites went in. Now you have to green or miss. So like you're going to notice that.
That's a server issue? Like 80% of the whites going in?
No, it's just that you're noticing server issues, you're noticing latency, you're noticing like all of these things a lot more.
I think a lot of people confuse like lag spikes with like ghost contests, bad catches, like the load up animations and things like that people often
they definitely do.
I don't think they are this year because I think those things are built into the game. I think they're actually intentional.
I think
Which is the worst thing
mechanics,
about this game, by
definitely.
the way. I'm just going to put it out there. Can we please sort the shot timing out for next year? If
that's
proper
just
works,
ridiculous.
please. It's
Yes.
not fun. This isn't fun. This just isn't
That's
fun.
enough.
Like
It's not
going for
fun.
game with someone who's like got 100% stamina and getting a weird catch, a weird load up, and a weird release,
Mhm.
and selling is the worst feeling I've ever
I
had.
personally think you notice it the absolute most with end games because those releases are so touchy that like you'll notice instantaneously if you're getting a bad load up.
Amazing.
Like, using
I
Durant,
pulled 4
you know.
end games, sold all of them immediately.
Oh, nice flex.
Flexing on Ludes
You know
there.
why it's not a flex? Shall I tell you why it's not a flex? I
They're
bought
just
4 end
clones.
games from MT packs, sold them all, and the only thing I can do with that MT is try and pull more end games. I'm in a loop of nothingness right now.
I saw your tweet where you mentioned Bo. He's talking about, oh, I didn't even see him.
I was on my
Flex.
phone like this. I looked up and I was like, oh, nice.
Guys,
I'll
with
take it.
as somebody who has 6,000 MT in account, I feel like you're being very insensitive right now. You're being inconsiderate of my feelings. I rip MT packs all the time. I don't get those kind of pulls. I think you're being very insensitive right now. I want you to consider my feelings.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
as
Have you
well.
watched any of my pack opening videos? You're over here complaining like, oh
But,
man,
man,
I pulled these
that's
end games and I
entertainment,
have
though.
nothing
It's
to
different.
spend.
I don't record my pack. I'm trying to get
No,
something for it.
Lou
It's just
has got more of
entertainment.
a case than you have. He actually plays the game and still doesn't get anything.
I don't
That's
play the
true.
game. I feel like I should get rewarded. Like that they should try to.
I should be
Yeah.
rewarded by 2K.
No,
I've been
hear
my-
me out. Hear my
rewarded.
logic. No, hear my logic. Like I feel like the way the game is, if you don't play for a long time, and then you go and like open a pack, they'll give you a good pull so they can get you back in the game.
You know,
So
you know what
sometimes
that's
I like when
called?
I don't play.
Josh, you know what that's called right there?
What?
AFK. You are AFK.
Yeah.
I'm
That's you.
AFK.
You're
It's
AFK.
not
now.
wrong.
The game's not
I-
on. I just don't play it. And
I-
You're
you know, I'll
asking
open
for
a
the
pack
same
and that's it.
outcomes of AFK. You're saying I want to do
I-
nothing and get rewarded.
That's
Look,
wild.
But that's what they do, though. That's how they always get me back.
I was
Shout
ready
out
to
to
sit
AFKers,
there.
man.
I was ready to sit there and fight Josh on this, but he's actually 100% correct. That is definitely a thing that they do. So the fact that you're not getting rewarded is super funny.
I think it
It's
happened to
crazy.
me in FIFA the other day. I think it
Yeah,
happened to
no,
me.
all the card collection modes do that. If you don't boot the game up and you don't like open packs or spend money for a long period of time, the next time that you do, you will get rewarded so they can suck you back in. That's a real thing.
I need
Yeah,
to
I haven't
actually ask
understood
JD because
money
I don't know the level of how OP this was. I know one of the cards I pulled was going for like 900,000 or something. You saw the pack I pulled, right, JD?
Oh yeah, no, it's a decent pack. I wouldn't say it was like
Oh,
insane and
decent pack.
unbelievable. No, it was a nice pack, but
A
I don't
decent
think you got
pack.
to
Our
just put
content
your
was going
back.
for like 800k.
Yeah, nice.
Is that
Yeah,
good?
but is that is
No,
no?
it's
That's
good.
nothing in
I'm
FIFA.
out here
No,
putting
no,
it
he's
for 5 million, you know what I'm saying?
definitely downplaying it.
Wait, he
Like,
flexed. Say that again.
Yeah.
I got a card worth about 5 mil the other day. I got
Million,
$10 out of
million,
picks, you
million.
know. We talking the millions out here. You know?
The millions.
It's levels.
Go ahead,
It's levels to
talk
this,
your talk,
JD.
JD.
It's levels to this, JD.
He
Let
said
them
we
know. It's
talking
levels.
millions out here.
Listen, I pulled ball without looking. That's a skill. Right.
Oh yeah, whatever.
You know,
man.
Jazz,
Whatever,
you know,
whatever.
you know what JD just did to you right there? That's like the first time we were talking about what vehicles we drove, and I told you what car I drove, and then you were like, I have a Jaguar. That's what
Yeah.
he just did.
Whose voice is that?
What?
You know
That was your
what?
pretentious voice.
Say it in a pretty voice.
You know who has a nice what you call it? Who does a nice accent? Rye guy.
Right,
Is,
that's the best British accent. He also called a crumpet a cookie, though, so I haven't spoken to him since.
Dang.
It is a cookie.
I've not spoken to him since. I'm going to
That's a
touch on
wrap.
a few other things real quick. Double XP coins is interesting. I think it's a good addition. I don't really have much more to say than that. If anyone wants to add,
I don't
do.
care.
It reminds like I know how. So from when I play like Rec, the double XP coins, like you activate it and then you just play the game for a certain amount of hours, so it doesn't matter what you're doing. Like literally the way you earn XP in my career, you literally just have to win games or like play the game. Like that's
Yeah.
all you have to do.
that's the most
So
interesting thing about it is it could mean that we start getting
You
XP
just have
for
to-
playing.
Just playing, yeah. So that would be like big for my team because like I don't want to have to sit there and be like, okay, so he has to get 15 rebounds, he has to make 3 threes, 7 steals with this guy. Like I don't want to have to be worried about that because then it feels like it's a job and I'm not playing the game.
I'll be
Like,
honest,
when you
right?
play-
I said this at the end of last podcast. The way I play this game now, I'm going to keep this energy through next year. I'm just going to play when I want to play. I'm going to play the modes I want to play. I'm not grinding
Exactly.
anymore. I'm not doing. I'm going to get 7 rebounds 35 times with one
Yeah.
player to get 250 XP. My days of doing that are done. I don't have the time for it. I like mixing up my games.
Then
I
you
just
would
take the whole
like that new
approach.
system. You like that new system, and like if they
Yeah.
and it also makes me think about like you see how my in my career they have like events like you know like let's say it's like Puma weekend. It's like double XP, triple
Ruffles
XP.
and all that.
So I'm like, if they do that for my team, I think that'll be big. And the only thing that might be bad from it is the level 40s won't be as desirable because of how easy it would be to attain.
Right, they can't get much worse. Jesus.
You know what I mean?
Trey Young, how are we gonna get worse than that?
But then also
it
makes me think like the legend thing, like with Park. Like I think you have to, there's certain requirements you have to get to become legend. So if they do that with my team, it's like a big lock-in card. Like you got every level 40, got a certain amount of things done. It's like this super good card. I think that would be really good for the game.
It's really overdue, to be honest. Like XP has been such a like dud for so long in this game. Like it just hasn't been interesting or relevant. Or the most interesting thing about level 40 has been Floki. Like that's it. That's been the most interesting thing, that he puts a graphic up. Everyone tries to get on it. It is the reward, isn't it? Like for a lot of people just getting on that graphic.
I think it's a flex not being on it personally.
You would think that.
Oh. No.
You would think that. But there's so much to be done with it. Like you said, even just from an event standpoint, we all want weekend events and things like that. Double XP events at the weekend, specific modes getting double XP for certain periods of time, coins and all of that. It's so much more that can be done with it. I think this is actually where they need to go. They need to make like MyTeam XP more like part.
It gets back into like the basics of video games, like playing the game. Like, you know what I mean? Not making it just all these freaking like let's just play the game. And I feel like it would be so much better for like the community as a whole. Obviously, you're gonna have some complaints. It's never gonna be just perfect. But I feel like if you bring back the game to just like being a video game, just meant to be played, have fun or whatever, I think that's gonna be really.
It leans into what 2K are trying to do as well, because their whole thing has been moving towards just get people playing game modes. You can see it very clearly over the last few years.
Yeah, well, I mean, they've been trying the strategy of forcing people into playing game modes. That hasn't been going.
They tried that early on, yeah.
They tried that, and that didn't work. So I'm hoping that they just kind of stick on the trajectory they're going on right now and trying to encourage people to play game modes for fun.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, can I? So we've actually been getting XP for playing the game, right? Like pretty much every mode, like triple threat online, triple threat offline. Like that's something they've added the past 2 seasons or whatever it is, and it's been good. Like we like that. But overall, level 40, the reason it sucks is because how easy it is. Like I feel like you have to avoid hitting level 40 lately just to not hit it. Otherwise, you're hitting it. Like,
I haven't tried to get it most in months. I've got it every time.
Exactly. So I think what they need to do, like I played games where like level 40 was the max and they've extended it. I think this year, them adding the double XP thing, they have to be extending it because most of us get 300K, 400K just by playing. Like after 150, no one tries to get XP, but we still end up with 300, 400. So I could see them maybe adding a couple more levels. Like I want them to go all out, give us 100. Make the level 40 just as attainable and the card pretty much the same because it hasn't been a great card the past few years. When it was great was when 150 was really hard to get. That's when the cards were really, really good. Like the Stephs, the David Robinsons, the Quads, like those cards were pretty hard to get. You had to play. So make level 40 just as easy, the card just as mediocre or whatever it is, and then give us level 100 where it's really, like not really hard, but where people who actually play and want to get it can still do it. And that way they can add more stuff in between. You're given double XP. I don't see why they wouldn't add more levels and try to change up what they've been doing the past few years.
I've been saying for a while as well, I think every XP should be worth 1 VC. And I think we're going to see, I think we might see, let me say that, grindable VC in the game this year.
Oh,
I think
that would be lovely.
More likely.
They're gonna make, if they do that this year, they're gonna definitely make it hell at first. I feel like for sure they're gonna make it hell.
I just think it's a no-brainer. Look, you get to 150,000 XP, that's 150,000 VC. You need 175,000, for example, to get an option pack, right? Let's say they keep that up. Suddenly everyone's got an incentive now to play another 25,000 XP. They're guaranteed a better reward card the following season because they can pick up any option pack they want. There's a no-brainer here. There is a no-brainer. This is an absolute no-brainer. Like, if people want to push to like 400,000, 500,000 XP, they can. That's going to guarantee them 2 option packs or whatever next season. I think it's a no-brainer.
But why not get rid of MT as a whole? Like, back in 2K13, my team was the first, like, that was the first year they added it. And it was just straight up VC. Whatever game you play, you get VC. You buy players from the auction house with VC. Everything is VC based. That takes out, like, their middleman, them worrying about people selling that stuff. There'll still be people selling VC. And I guess it would make it bad because VC actually has a money value that you could pay. But overall, I think it can take away so much. And while we're at this topic, I want to also hear your opinions on that. But can you guys tell me what's happening with the crossplay with the auction house? Like, is it going to be somehow.
I'm
I
assuming
never
it'll
thought
be
about
one.
that. One big
So
auction
next
house.
gen, it'll be one.
You think so?
Yeah.
Because I've been trying
I
to think
reckon.
about it. And I don't really know. Like,
It'll be
I
one,
think
one
it will.
next gen and one
Well-
current gen.
A lot of snipers will be exposed, though. I'll tell you that much. A lot of snipers, you're gonna see who's really the best of the best.
Oh,
Do you think there'll be
yeah.
one current gen, JD? Because current gen isn't going to be crossplay, so they could be
Yeah,
two
it's
separate
not,
ones
so.
on current gen.
Oh, if they're not crossplay, then yeah, it'll be a separate for current gen PlayStation, current gen Xbox, and then next gen crossplay will just be one big old auction house.
You
Yeah.
said they're gonna expose snipers. Oh
Yeah,
god.
like the guys who
Man.
think they're tough, they ain't gonna be tough no more, man. The real snipers gonna be
No,
good.
man. Shout out to the snipers. Shout out to J, SP, Lethal, all them out there, man. Don't disrespect the
Listen,
snipers.
No,
There's
I'm
some
not
top snipers
disrespecting. I'm
out
just
there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
You're
the-
always
the really the
disrespecting
best.
someone. What do you mean?
Yeah, it
Oh,
really
man.
is.
Soft. They soft. They soft.
I do need to
Oh my
clarify
God.
that, like, okay, because this happens every time we do this podcast. We start talking about like a random group of people, right? And everyone just assumes we're talking about creators when we're actually just talking about Twitter gremlins.
Yeah.
For the most part, like
Yeah.
anime profile picture, like NBA YoungBoy Twitter gremlins. Like this is mostly what we're talking about.
Oh, no, you see down
If
there.
I'm gonna send shots at a creator, I
giveaways.
will say their name.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah, for real. I want to say real quick, there should be, and I repeat, no MT. And matter of fact, why do we have dual currency anyway? For real, you know what I'm saying? With everything that happened, and most I agree with you, man. With everything that happened this year, man, with the buying and everything, I think it should be VC only. Sure, can VC probably be farmed and sold, whatnot? Yes, but I hopefully 2K can do something with that, man. I just want to see reward again. I want to see rewards actually be rewarded again, and that right there, what you alluded to, Jazz, what you alluded to most would be a big dub. What is it? You said 1K VC for each XP. How did you?
There's just one XP is one VC, so
1 XP is 1
1,000
VC.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, exactly. So I mean, the biggest issue with that is, and I've even talked about it, is that in game in MyTeam, you have to literally go to park to grind VC, and in MyTeam with concerning MT, it is hard pressed to grind for it. Like
Yeah, it's a
offline,
big issue.
sure. Clutch time, sure. I mean, yeah, you have all these modes, but
Yeah.
to get 500 MT off an unlimited game or 1250 MT is egregious, man. I have to sound like Ramsey here. Egregious, man.
The 150 off
it's
clutch time
really-
is crazy.
That's the
that
first time you
100
ever
in the middle of
mentioned
July
that
as well.
on the podcast.
PTO. Like there's no MT there's no rewards. There's no MT making methods, and that's what everybody, and not just including snipers, but everybody is really talking about. There's no way to really make MT. That is why people buy points. You wonder why people buy points, and that's why. Now, if you actually made it rewarding, going into 24, I think that would be a huge dub. I'm not adding to. I think what they are going to implement, whatever they implement, I think they're going to supersede a lot of our expectations, man. And then we're going to put a lot of the old sentiments aside, where they couldn't be any excuses. I'm hoping that's the case, but we'll see.
I can't believe you just mentioned Ramsey on the podcast, that gremlin. I'm just see, this is a good example of us just saying a name. You know what I mean? We don't sugar. It's what Luz was saying. I'm
The
kidding. No, we like
gremlin,
Ramsey.
we love him, man.
We don't do sneak dissing here. I'm sorry to
No,
say.
we don't.
We're really open.
But we will be direct, and we will act you if we have to.
Oh, poor
We've
Ramsey.
seen it. We love Ramsey.
Yeah, the MT grinding situation. I know, JD, you've been talking about this a lot this year, and obviously you've kind of changed strategy. Let's just say that based on it. But yeah, it is a problem. But I think if they're going to continue down the road of like option packs and things like that, which I really hope they do, by the way, I really hope they do, and give us the opportunity to grind VC in game, I think MT is going to become redundant. I will say there is never going to be a scenario where VC will be transferable in this game. I don't think we'll ever see that. Because MT sites will just take over the one protected currency, you know what I mean? So I don't think that'll happen. I think MT will continue. But I do think Moses is right. I think we will move to a point where auction house will be redundant. Like it would just be buy cards one way or another. What's your thoughts, JD, on all of this, the MT situation? Walk us through it, because you've had an interesting year, right? Because you started out with a similar strategy to last year, and then
yeah, and then
sideways.
had to switch up. Like Matt says, you just can't earn anything. It needs to be at least like incremental every season. So the vaults and the wheel spins and everything. Right now it's the exact same as day one, which is your 150 MTs from clutch time wheels or whatever. It's got to have like a ladder system or something, or just get bigger every season so it keeps up with the trend of prices. Because Yeah, I started nobody spent and then wanted to go for the collector level and realized I needed like 20 million MT. And I'm like, well, how am I going to get that by playing the game? So, yeah, it's sad that it did push people to do that, like Matt said. But again, if the option is there to grind it in game, people will just do that and they'll just play the game and they won't have to go elsewhere. So yeah, but next year, that's the one thing. If I need to make one change to the game, it's just being able to earn the currency that buys you players and packs, because that's all this game is. If you can't buy players, you're not going to have more fun every time there's a pack drop. If you can't buy the packs, you're not going to get your hit of fun from that. If you just earn the currency more, everything else should hopefully fall into place.
Yeah, we've got a long way in the wrong direction, haven't we, with this? Like, we go back to 2K20 and the TTO boards, and we would just sit there grinding for hours and hours and hours, making hundreds of thousands of MT. It was always a realistic chance of, without sniping, just playing the game, that you could get some of the best cards straight out the auction house. And the more hardcore grinders were rewarded through the auction house by the MT that we had, instead of having to rely on a Larry Bird to be, at that level. So I think it's quite a big cultural shift, really. But we need to get back to a point where there is the validity of playing the game just to play the game sometimes, and it's not just a part of a long arc to get to a specific card or whatever, that we could just play, get a currency or get something that we can use whenever we want to go and get a card that we want later down the line. And that's just the bit that's missing. I was playing TTO the other day for the first time in probably 6 months. I'm not even joking. I think probably 6 months. Whereas a mode that I actually would enjoy playing and feel quite a lot of satisfaction if I was getting, some currency in return for playing it.
Yeah.
I just feel like they just gotta take. Sorry, I just feel like they gotta just copy literally the park. Like that's their biggest game mode. It's so easy to earn VC playing like that whole, like my career. I load up. Let's say I have a A+ or A teammate grade on in a rec. I get at least like 1,500 VC, and it's like what, in 30 minutes or less. You know what I mean? So like, I just feel like there's some things they already exist in the game. They have like the tools and ingredients. They just got to take it from other places and just apply it to MyTeam. I feel like it would make the gaming experience so much better.
Sorry to cut you off, Josh. I apologize. I feel like this, and not to bring up the show, but what they're doing is just so astronomical in my experience of playing the game this year. It's just been amazing. Like the rewards are actually rewarding. Also, their former currency stubs is also rewarding. You can go in game. You don't have to buy it. You don't have to go to a third party site. You don't have to do none of that. You can go in there and you can grind and you can earn it in game. And also they offer free 99s. Not comparing the show with 2K or anything. It is what it is. That game is just rewarding. But with that being said, when cards in our auction house is overinflated, such as the Yaos of the world and Tacos and all the big name cards that we know, for years, guys, we have normalized overinflated cards that cost millions. No card should cost millions, first and foremost. No card should cost thousands or even hundreds, in our market. And we've normalized it. And guys, that's not the norm. That is not normal. Okay. And that is why I've advocated so much, and this year, with that. I want to say going forward, Jazz, forward with the $50 thing and all that, I think if they continue to do that, the option pack, whatnot, that is a dub, and we might be leaning towards that. Whoever implemented that, kudos to you, okay? Because that right there should be a feather in 2K's cap. There's people out here not spending the wow, and they're not spending the honey bun every week, and we can actually not just create content, but actually have fun with cards inexpensively. You know what I'm saying? Now, for some, it might be expensive, and I get that, but it's better than paying the premium. Go ahead.
It's a tricky one with MLB, right? Because it is a small studio at the end of the day, and it's hard to make the comparison with 2K. You can make a comparison with 2K and FIFA way easier. Right. No, everything you said is right, but
right.
When people say, 2K, $1 billion company, they make $1 billion every year, whatever, it also costs them that much to run the business, right? It's a profit and loss thing, and at the end of the day, they are going to be stingier than a company like MLB can afford to be. But then you use the comparison of EA, where it's really like, it's kind of 50-50. Like, JD, I know you prefer the reward system on FIFA. I would say, by the way, I want to hear your thoughts on this. I think it's because you're good at FIFA that you prefer the reward system, by the way, because I think it's, when you're not as good, it feels tougher, actually, than 2K to be rewarded in a lot of ways. But if you're good at FIFA, I think it is more rewarding. But there is the other side of things, where EA 2 years ago were voted the most unethical company on the planet. By
they beat Nestle. They beat Nestle, and Nestle does child labor.
Yeah, so it's really it's like apples and oranges a little bit with 2K and MLB. I think with 2K and EA, it's apples and apples. But if you actually look at the wider perspective, EA is widely considered the worst company in the like wider public eye.
Yeah, it's just so crazy that you get voted worse than somebody who uses child slaves. That's crazy.
Man,
It's crazy, man. How does that even happen?
The fact that they beat Nestle is yeah. I've got a lot of info on Nestle. That's for a different podcast.
That's insane.
Yeah, it is hard. But yeah, JD, I wanted to get your opinion on this because you obviously. I want to start by saying I think Divisions is the best ultimate mode, like mode within an ultimate mode.
Mm-hmm.
Period. I love it. I've been playing it nonstop for a few weeks, and the concept is really good. I like the fact that there's kind of checkpoints, that you can't go backwards, that there's kind of continuous progression, that there's no real consequence of like quitting out of a game. You can just keep playing, and it's quick. You can get through games quickly. You can get on to the next one. But I think a lot of the FIFA lens is through the eyes of a good player that is capable of going, 18 and 20 in champs and get to Division 1 in rivals. And if you're not getting those points, you're getting nothing, I think.
I don't think so, because right now I'm in Division 3, so I'm not much ahead of you. And at the moment in champs, I just go to 11 wins, 11 out of 20, so I go 11 and 9. And that's just where I choose to stop. I can go higher if I need to, but I choose to stop there because it is so rewarding for the time it takes to get to that spot. I think a lot of the FIFA scenes stop at 11 wins. Is it harder than FIFA than 2K if you're not good at it? Potentially. Offline there is less. Offline there's only squad battles and nobody really plays that. But in general, Rivals is fantastic. 8 wins a week and you get your choice of rewards. You can choose tradable ones, untradeable ones. Then you get a champs every weekend. You get tradable rewards, champs qualifiers, tradable rewards. If 2K has something like that, if Unlimited adopts a system like Rivals, and then there's a Supermax alongside it, I think the competitive side of MyTeam is looking really good, because some of the most hype weekends this year have been 250k weekends. That's hype. Even people who know they've got no chance still playing it because they want to feel like they're participating in something like that.
Yeah.
But if you give an entry to that and then say, all right, well, if you win one game, give like 10 entries or something. If you win one game, you'll still get a pack at the end of it or something like that. And then say people like, if you go 10 and 0, you get like a 10 box or something like that. I think they're the weekends this year that stuck out to me as having like the most hype in the community, the 250k weekends. And if we can replicate that in a competitive sense more often, I think the competitive side of things will be good and rewarding as well.
That's undeniable, to be honest. Yeah, I agree.
I want to talk about like competition when we're talking about other sports games, because we always talk about 2K, we need live to come back and all this, but honestly 2K only started doing well this year when the show dropped, because everyone started moving over to the show like in end of March or whatever, and then that's when 2K stepped up what they were doing. And we just need other sports games to really get our attention, because a lot of us, we're not just gamers, we're sports enthusiasts, or like that's what we love, like we're fanatics, right? At the end of the day, like we all, if you play this game as much as us and people watching us, you guys play it just as much or even just a little bit. That's what brings us back. So as long as there's competition in the sports scenes, even if it's different companies, I think that's so healthy for us. And I believe 2K is going to take from all these things. We used to have I know we talked about pack and playoffs and stuff, but there was one of my favorite modes in 2K was literally you were only allowed to go it was called Road to the Playoffs. That was the mode. Road to the Playoffs. That was my favorite mode in like 2K. It was, at first you're in like the 8th seed, you got to win with like just gold players, and then you move on to the next. You get rewarded if you win a certain amount. If you lose, like you said, you stay in the same one. You can't like really go back. And then you move up to like where you can use emeralds, then you can use sapphires, then at the end you can use whatever you want. Like those modes, we just need stuff like that where it's not just limited, where it's copy and paste every week, where they're literally limited's been so bad, and I used to love it. And I just love how like all these other sports games are coming around and making 2K have to step up their game for real.
Yeah,
that's exactly what I was trying to allude to too. No matter the size of San Diego studios, the show, I'm playing the show right now. Okay, literally right now. I have never felt so rewarded, man, in my entire journey. No matter if it's a baseball game, no matter whatever the case may be, it's fun. You know what I'm saying? And I go out there knowing that, hey, I'm going to actually receive awards for, grinding, man. I'm almost at 1 million stubs, and that's just by just grinding the game and also having some pack luck. And I pulled a couple Ellie De La Cruzes, but that's beside the point. Say I want to flex that. But man, I've never played football. I've never played. I haven't played FIFA since FIFA 11, FIFA 12, and hearing you guys talk about that, I'm saying, I ain't gonna lie, I had zero clue what y'all was referring to. And
you play soccer?
No, it's football. It's not soccer.
Football.
I was literally
It's
about
football.
to compliment
It's
him for
not
saying
soccer, y'all. It is football. Let's respect the game. But listen. What I'm saying is, now I want to get into it, man. Now, like Jazz, I see you posting about it all the time, and I just want to be honest. I know I'm veering away here, but I got to say this: like, what does it take for me to step in that realm, man? Because it's very interesting. It seems like it's rewarding, but at the same token, it seems like some drawbacks. With any other game, with any game like 2K, there's always drawbacks. Though,
with FIFA, you mean?
Yeah.
It's weird, right? Because I'm playing 3 games right now, right? I'm playing F1, which is offline career mode. Ironically, their career mode is called MyTeam, which is really funny. But I'm doing that right now. That's probably, I don't know, a third of my gaming time this week. 50% probably of my gaming time has been FIFA. I've just been cooking. But with FIFA, I play FIFA when I'm brain dead.
Oh,
I can switch off and play FIFA right online. It's not that sweaty. If you get popped, it doesn't really matter. You just quit out, start another game. I'm a casual on the mode that's getting better. That's where I am in my trajectory, right? In FIFA, and I probably hope maybe by this time next year I'll be, good at the game. But I wouldn't say I'm good at it now. So I don't really care. I'm very passive when I play it. I'm just playing it to play it.
Gotcha.
And then the rest of the time I've spent playing 2K, but there isn't a huge amount to do on 2K right now, and I think every year we're going to get to this point. To be honest, I think it's going to happen next year.
It's in-game.
Year after. I think it's just they end their cycle a little bit earlier than most. But there isn't really any drawbacks to playing FIFA if you play it as a casual. I know the hardcore players, I know some streamers that take this game very seriously, and they're constantly kind of reminding me that it's it's your first game bias, right? If you're a 2K player primarily, you're going to dislike 2K more because you're going to see more of things that to dislike. And the FIFA players feel exactly the same about FIFA. The hardcore FIFA players hate FIFA, and they play 2K and they're like, oh my God. The big celebration in FIFA right now, which JD's probably found just as funny as I have, is they've just discovered Evos, and they're all really excited about it. I'm like, we've forgotten they exist, to be honest. They're so redundant. Obviously, it could be done differently over there, and all this other stuff, and ultimately it might turn out to be a huge win. But I think whatever game you play, you're gonna see the flaws in the game you play more. You're gonna see the flaws in more, and I'm kind of in that stage with FIFA. I reckon 6 months from now, the more I play it, I might get a bit sick of it and start to see some of the drawbacks. When I get to a point, if I'm playing at a higher competitive level, I'm gonna start to feel the need to spend money more than I do now, or whatever.
I don't think it's gonna take. I don't think it's gonna take that long to get to that point, because I was literally on a Discord call with you last night where you were having an absolute mental breakdown trying to win this one game and getting hoed massively.
That is the punishing thing about Rivals, because I was literally 1 win away from Division 4. I'd won 2. I needed 1 more to get to Division 4, and when I say I got hoed out of a win.
It was fun. It was a good
now
time.
I've got to win 3 games in a row again to get.
It was fun for the whole.
You got to
family.
step up your soccer game, man. Got to step up your soccer game.
There we go, man. Come on, Josh. Wow, he poking the pride. Most. Let me ask you this, man. And I'm gonna shut up on this, man, because I just gotta know. With concerning casuals, okay. If I was to play a game like FIFA or the show or any other game, say. I'm the type of person, if I casual play it, there was a time where you casual play a game and then you would want to get better at the game. Do you still feel that that's the same for 2K or no?
Right now, no. I feel like the way it's set up, especially people are joining the game now, trying to get that Steph Curry, blah, blah, blah. They get it as soon as they log in. And we've all seen, none of them can use it, especially if you're just starting. You're not able to hit a shot, you're this. Bro, they're definitely getting discouraged, in every way possible. And plus, the big thing, someone mentioned it earlier, they don't explain anything in the MyTeam mode. There's no tutorials for nothing. People don't know that they can go get 3 dark matters for playing 1 game of triple threat. They don't know. I'm literally running into dudes because I'm on European servers. So sometimes I'm playing at certain times of the day and I'm running into guys with terrible teams. And I just want to turn on the mic and be like, bro, go play some old time spotlights. Bro, go do this. Yo, you can put in a locker code for a free invincible. I'm constantly doing that. Sometimes I'll play a guy that just has a bad team on triple threat online. I'm like, bro, Like literally, bro, there's a locker code for Carmelo Anthony right now. Go get it. Like I have to keep reminding people.
That's
like,
real.
And they're like a guy who's just joining and just getting the game for free, because that's some people are getting that now. They're gonna be like, yo, all right, I tried. I'm not that good. I don't understand this game. I don't know how to shoot. I'm just gonna get off. When in reality, all they have to do is just add like another tab in that MyTeam community hub every week, update it, put something new. Like, yo, you guys can do this. Literally, any one of us creators would love to send them a video, like 5 minutes or 2 minutes, a minute every week, and they can just add it there, like what you should do this week, what you should focus on. I think that will get the community, especially like the casual side, where they want to actually. I'm actually probably talking about people that aren't even casuals. I'm talking about like the lower, even lower than that, right? Because I think a regular casual would probably like. I'm considering myself one, right? Because that's how I play. I'm saying, yeah, I would definitely. I try to get better, but realistically, if I'm running into Taco and all these guys, I'm getting discouraged. That's just how it is.
They should have a 2KU though. That's what they like. My team should have its own 2KU.
You know what,
for the
Josh?
game mode.
Me and Ludes were literally talking about this last night. This is one of the coolest things that FIFA do, because I played FIFA every year, literally since the first game came out. I had the first game on the Super Nintendo. So I
was more of a Pro Evolution guy personally, but
30 years. Yeah. But I know, like, there's mechanics in the game that you don't really focus on when you're playing like career mode and stuff, right? Because you just do what you know how to do, and you win. And one of the first things I had to do when I got into Ultimate Team is it was an agenda where I had to score like a power shot, and I had no idea what that was, right? So you hold 2 bumpers and shoot, and it like blasts the ball basically. So they have agendas that teach you how to play the game, basically. Like you have to learn this mechanic to then go and do that agenda. So I would love to see more of that in 2K. Like use X escape five times for XP and whatever. Like to teach people how to play the game. Force them to get better at it and ultimately they enjoy it more. But go on.
No, I was just gonna say real quick with the whole like using the escape thing, and then it introduces them to like different players' signatures, and they might find one that they really like, and adding diversity to the game. So
it makes the whole gameplay experience more interesting for everyone, because everyone's now offering different looks instead of the same. I'm going to set a screen, use the same 2 dribble moves, and shoot. That's what basically been for 4 years.
That's a great idea. I didn't even think about that. Shout out to Kevin Cruz, because he's literally like the man when it comes to 2KU. He's the reason why I went into 2KU. And also, Mosballin, you tough out here on these streets. We all see you play, dude. Come on, man. Talking about
you play like a casual by not using the auction house. You don't play like a casual.
Nah, but look, like one of the things like you guys are talking about, there's a challenge that just came out a few days ago for one of the free endgame packs, and it's like you need to do 4 post moves every day. I'm constantly getting asked, yo, how do I do a post move? What is considered a post move? So I have to like that should be something that's taught in that, like anywhere, like you just said. There's also like some people don't even know what a triple double is if someone's new and doesn't really know. And one of the challenges is get a triple double for the daily hollow. Like, bro, I don't know how to do. I don't know what that means. So explain those little things, 2K. Like it's so easy to explain.
There's an assumption. They seem to assume that we just know, right? And like there's no better example of that than the trophy case this year, like which we're going to get into.
Why they would assume that, I have no idea, but yes.
I'm going to round out this whole conversation and then we're going to get onto the awards, because really what we're talking about, this wasn't a planned conversation, it's been quite cool to listen to the way this played out. Really what we're talking about is 2K both targeting and not targeting casuals at the same time this year. From a game mode perspective, it's been the most casual friendly 2K we've ever seen. And from a gameplay perspective, it's been the least casual friendly 2K we've ever seen. And I just don't think those things are compatible. And I think you're always going to upset one side or the other. But I think part of the challenge this year is because of that has been the case, it's upset everyone. Newbies have been frustrated because they can't learn the game. They can't shoot with Steph. They can't do the basic things. They don't know what the meta is and they don't understand it. And then comp players have been frustrated because they feel like everything's being handed out and there's nothing for them to chase to kind of be the elite. I think we've got to go one way or the other, to be honest. I think trying to suit both is never going to work. Do one of those two things really well. That's the way I look at it. Right, awards?
Yes.
Awards.
Yes.
All right.
A few days after the ESPYs, man. Perfect timing.
This is the real award show. Right, this is how it's going to work. So we all got a vote on, like, we've got to vote on a outcome, right? So if it's the best card, you've got to decide which card. It's 6 of us. If there's a tie, I have to change my vote. Okay, that's how it works. So
to go to break. Oh, no, I would say go majority, but I guess that doesn't make sense. You just choose.
Yeah, if the majority decides, yes, like the obvious stuff is it's not obvious. Thanks for W contribution. Right, let's start with best season. I feel like this should be unanimous. Who wants to go? JD?
Yeah, season 7. I mean, I can't remember the other seasons. I think I've tried to forget them. So, by virtue of me remembering season 7, nothing else comes to mind. Was there one around Christmas time, January, February? Was there anything good around that time?
What season did we get the E grind and the Ray Allen grind and all of that?
It was season 5, wasn't it?
The 2-week events.
Season 4.
Season 4, yeah.
I'm sorry.
The 2-week events for season 4. That wasn't a bad season. I don't think people minded that too much. I think people minded the fact that they said they were going to bring back 2-week events and then just never did. I don't think that went down too well.
It did not.
Yes.
Season 7, I guess.
Season 7?
Probably recency bias, but
do you know what's a sleeper in this conversation? Season 1. It is a sleeper. We got the only level 40 that was really worth it the whole year.
That is a hot take.
Yeah,
it is a hot take. Yeah,
but
I like the way season 1 worked compared to the following 2 seasons when it came to the trophy case.
I would have agreed with you if they had, I don't know, done anything to promote how the trophy case worked in any way, shape, or form. I would have agreed, like for sure. But nobody knew. It's just like, how do you put a mechanic in the game and then not tell anyone how it works? I'm sorry, that's just baffling to me. And I'm only saying this, 2K person who's watching this more than likely, so that you don't do it again. But you will.
I think I would hope that they will. I think they got roasted sufficiently to stop that happening again. Okay, I'm gonna go season 7 as well. So we've got 2 for season 7. Anyone else?
Season 7. I mean, it's not even particularly close, honestly. You can make the case, I guess, for like a season 4, but season 7 is I'm assuming we're doing best season. I was not at my chair at this time. Season 7 is probably the best season that we've seen this year. I don't know if you can really make a case for anything else. Like, there's going to be multiple different opinions for worst season for sure, but I feel like for best season, I mean, it's season 7 by a landslide.
All right. What about the rest of you?
Season 7. Like, honestly, I missed out on most of it, but I heard a lot of good things from it. So, like, I don't have a horse in this race. So, season 7, no. Okay. What I'm hearing.
I think season 7 like had so much, like it was so good, but it might have been just because everything around it was so bad that it, like the way I see it right now, it's probably the best season we ever had. But I think it's just because of how bad the rest of the year was. So I have to really go back, but that's how good it was compared to everything else for sure.
Yeah. Okay, Matt.
I've already admitted it. Season 7, best by far, with everything, the adjustment of the odds and the institution of the option packs and all that, man, and all the free content. Season 7 also, wasn't it the one with the pioneers of the game?
Yeah,
with Earl Lloyd. Come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, one of the best concepts ever. That.
Yeah, you can't beat that. So there you go.
All right, that's unanimous.
That was like our first locker code in forever too that season.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, Melo.
Yeah.
And we also got the Invincible one too, where I got Westbrook and I'm still upset about it.
We had a lot that season. We had the rush packs as well, the grindable ones every week.
Yeah.
We had the Jokic locker code as well. We had the Nuggets Evos, 2 Dark Matters. Like, we actually had some NBA real life crossover in that season for the first time. There was a lot actually. Yeah, it was I think comfortably the best season.
Season 6 is when they introduced the playoff Evos, right?
I
like that.
Towards the end.
I actually like that. That's one of my favorite things. But yeah, still season 7 though.
All right,
see, real quick about season 7, we, like Mo said, man, we were at a state, man, where we're just basically so hungry for content, and season 7 really provided so much with it. And one thing we didn't even bring up was those spotlights, man. We actually got like daily content, that we can talk about. So that was another feather in 2K's cap.
Yeah. I agree. But we're going to get onto that as well. That's it's going to come up in one of the other awards probably. But yeah, I think it's probably one of the best pieces of content they've ever done personally. Those all times.
I'm so excited to talk about worst season. Honestly,
that's where we are.
By the way, I couldn't be happier.
If you're watching this, obviously give us your opinions as well. Let us know what your best season was. But we're gonna do worst season now.
Fight amongst yourself in the chat.
Yeah, things are going to get interesting now. Worst season. Let's go.
Season 3. Season 3. It's not even close. It's season 3. Season 3 is the worst season. Honestly, I'm not even going to say it's the worst season that we've seen this year. It's the worst season we've ever seen. It is the worst. There is not the Bam Adebayo grind, I think, was in season 3. That might be the only positive thing that happened, and that even sucked. There is absolutely nothing redeemable about season 3. Go back. I go on 2KDB right now and just go look around season 3 and just tell me anything positive about season 3. We started with Trey. I mean, there's Trey in the mix. Takeover cards were still ridiculous. We got like 2 moments the entire
That's
season.
when they tanked the takeover cards. Was that Pink
Yeah, they
Diamond
tanked them.
takeovers? Like
Yes,
the ones
this
that
is
were
when-
just rubbish. Yeah.
Yes. And you like basically couldn't get them. So it was good stuff. But just looking through everything, I mean, the pack content was terrible. We didn't even have Tuesday packs. They just did super packs on a Tuesday. So we had no Tuesday content whatsoever. They introduced like super gate kept cards, like the takeover cards outside of Corey Maggette were awful. Or wait, no, that was even season 2. Never mind. No redeeming qualities for season 3. It was the worst season.
He's on one. He's on one.
Season 3 has. I feel like it made me feel like the least hopeful towards 2K ever, which is crazy because I'm typically super pessimistic about this game. But season 3 was just the worst. I can't think of one positive quality about season 3. Even the packs were terrible. Like there's just nothing.
Season 3 was also the culmination of the trophy case, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It was the
Which
culmination.
I guess
of
was
the
actually
case.
their main focus, which why everything else became secondary.
Okay. The fact that we had a season where 2K, their main, I don't know, I want to say like their main thing that they like doing is to make money. They enjoy that quite a bit. And the fact that they weren't even willing to do that by just putting out super packs on Tuesday that nobody bought. It's just it's infuriating.
I have a different take. I think season 4, because of the whole like stellar odds being introduced and then them taking that away and then the bans and everything happening, just not in terms of their content, but like what happened like within the community around it. I think season 4.
I know what you're saying, but we got Ian, Ray Allen, and like what
Content itself was a lot better than others. I get, yeah.
Well, like I just feel like for that aspect,
I
don't want to just say season 3 because like honestly, like after like season 5, I stopped playing. After season 6, I stopped playing the game.
There's a reason.
There's
a reason because the worst season is season 5. It's season 5.
Yeah,
we got
RNG.
nothing.
You're bugging.
RNG.
What did we get in season 5? We got less than 2% pack odds as standard, and we got RNG.
Okay, but you act like
Jazz, is that
I
what
agree.
Mike Bandom came out?
Yeah, I won
Yes.
nearly 1,000
Yeah.
games.
Oh, yeah, that was rough.
Bantam.
At least
that
I
was
was
rough.
Trae Young in season 3. They gave me
Really
nothing.
You know how bad it was? Me and Rye, we actually did get Bantam, but I forgot. I think we were playing co-op, and all we needed was like I think 15 more wins, and for whatever reason we could not get 15. Like we had Wolf stay up till like 6 o'clock in the morning. His time would work in the next 2 hours to get those cards, man. Yeah, Jazz was MIA because season 5 he was wounded, bro. He was wounded bad.
Look, season 5 ended the podcast.
Yeah.
That's
also we got Team.
You said yourself, Ludes, that we sat down to come up with content and we couldn't think of 2 things. You said that last week.
I'm looking through season 5 right now. And I can tell you right now that season 3, there's less in season 3. Season 3 is worse.
How is there less than nothing?
We was getting
because they didn't
Monday through Friday though.
They gave us things during season 5. Like we had Tuesday content. They actually gave us some more moments cards. They gave us Lil Durk for some reason.
Why? That's a point for me, surely.
I mean, surely, but it's not like they didn't do that back in season 3. But I'm looking through all the content releases right now, and there is significantly more content drops. There's more stuff. I mean, yes, RNG cards are annoying, but like season 3, they basically just killed their own game for no reason.
It's RNG cards became the entire mode.
Yeah, but I'm telling you right now, I'm looking at
content we got. Like, is that all?
I'm just basing it as a season as a whole. We at least got like the Bracket Busters challenge. Like there was things that we received during season 5 that you could point to as not being great. I'm gonna tell you that season 5 is the second worst season for sure. But season 3, we just got nothing. There's nothing.
All right, we're gonna have to leave it up to the jury. All right.
I mean,
jury.
I'm gonna throw in
all
two
right.
other seasons here. I know we've already got two that we're going from. I'm throwing in number two. Season number 6, which obviously, we can't really remember because we think of it just like so close to season 7. Season 6 was literally nothing other than the Evos, and that was it. It was the hero season, so it was just the hero lock-ins. It was Tuesday the hero cards, Friday the hero cards, and that was it. And the game mode rewards in season 6, I think it was Triple Threat and Clutch Time. Those dudes had
Wasn't it
normal release.
recycled content too? Didn't it get like old?
Oh, that was season 5.
That was season 3
Was it
had
season 5?
recycled.
Season
I think
3
season
was a
3
lot
had
of
recycled.
content.
No,
Yeah.
recycled was 4 and 5. I think 3 was
Yeah.
still the trophy case.
Oh yeah, no, you're right because it was like
Use
Glitch Hakeem was
centerpieces, yeah.
Yeah.
So season, and then season 8 that we're in right now, maybe not the worst, but the most boring I can remember a July ever feeling, because there's just nothing to do. You got old recycled cards every day, and that is it. And then you play with clones, obviously, that come out every
I
Tuesday
think,
and
though,
Friday. But
I'll always let the later seasons go. I think we know the definition of like insanity is just complaining about the same thing, knowing it's going to happen, right? And I think every year we know they pack it up at the beginning of July. So I think if I was expecting something, I would agree with you. It's an atrocious season, but I wasn't expecting anything.
also, season 6, I think, was the season where LeBron hit the all-time thing. And that is unforgivable.
That's true.
I have not forgiven that. So I think that comes into my bringing season 6 into the equation. But yeah,
I think
so I was
season
going to throw
6
those
was
out
like
there.
a follow-up of 5, right? I think it's things went wrong at 5 and 6 it got worse. I do agree.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with 5. Are you going with 6, Jody?
No, I'll go with 3 because it was the no, it wasn't the recycle, was it? Yeah, 5. If that was recycled rewards, then 5. But
Stop
a shout out
smiling,
to
dude.
6 and 8 and 4 and 3.
Stop looking
Season
smug.
3 was so bad. Like the fact that they didn't even put Tuesday packs in the game is just so. Oh god, it's horrible. Season 3 made me lose complete. I mean, I already had like no hope in 2K because I'm just like that normally. But like season 3 actually like broke me. I think for a little bit.
Most.
I think you make great points, Lutz, about season 3. You make great points, but I played it heavy because I was trying to finish the trophy case first. So I remember that one, like, it really drained me that season. I was locked in and I was glad they were finishing it. So I wasn't really upset at the time. But I will tell you this. Once I got that trophy case bird, I hated him so bad. I hated that I went through all that. I stopped playing a little into season 4, completely stopped.
Didn't you have the issue? You had the issue, didn't you, with one of the pieces?
Yeah. I thought I was gonna be done first, and they added something into the game. A lot of people will fight me that it didn't, but I showed screenshots and videos. I have proof of everything that they added a new menu without telling anybody. So I quick sold the piece instead of not. But anyway, so skip all that because you just reminded me of something. And I'm just really depressed now.
PTSD.
I think I just want you to lose.
Yeah. Oh man, I still believe I finished 3rd, so I'm fine. Like I don't know, like I only know 2 people who finished ahead of me, so I'm fine. But anyway, going back to what I was talking about. So season 5, I did not touch the game once. Like I never loaded up the game once in season 5. Once I saw the rewards and all that. So therefore, I have to go with that. You could say that season 3 was so bad it drained me into 4 and then drained me into 5. But nah, I think 5 really there was nothing to play.
All right, I need 2. I need 2 votes here for 5. Otherwise, I'm going to have to change my vote.
That's the most I played. I'm season 5.
Oh no.
Okay. Let me give you my perspective on this. Season 3 was horrible. I'm with Ludes, man. Season 3 was one of the worst seasons, man, that we could all play. However, here's the thing. Here's the thing, guys. And each season 3, 4, 5, man, one led to another debacle which led to another debacle, which broke. It was the straw that broke the camel's back. Season 4 had the stellar odds, like Josh said, and we all know how that played out with the mess with that. You know what I'm saying? With the renege, that's messed up. Season 5, to me. Yeah, man, RNG, the tweets. I could still remember Jazz's tweets. I could still remember my tweets and seeing the Twitter community just going up in flames because nobody could catch a card. Nobody could get Bant, so nobody could get Knight.
While Ramsey getting like 4 of them.
Why we mentioned that Gremlin twice now?
So, like, when I look at everything, man, like season 3 was bad. Ludes is right. You know what I'm saying? Season 4, the stellar odds, personal for me, that was really, really horrific. Season 5 was the straw that broke the camel's back, man. It's levels to it, okay? I can't say either one or is worse than the other, but I can say this. I remember season 5 is stark to me because that was just a really, really rough time. And also it ended us, man. So I got to go with season 5.
Yeah,
We're not
yes.
good. We're
I have
literally
to.
recording right now.
Hey,
It didn't
No,
end
we're
us.
back because they did season 7, the best season.
Yeah.
Right, Josh. As long as you don't pick season 3, don't. I
Come
can
on,
see
man.
the look on
I
your
will-
face.
I
You're
will-
gonna do it.
I think we
Just-
won anyway.
No,
If you pick season 3, I will admit that Brunson is better than Trey. Young.
Ah,
I don't.
No.
That means
We've got
nothing to
three
me.
for
You
season
saying
5
that
and
does
2 for
nothing for
season
me.
3.
I don't care that a Bulls fan says everyone knows that. I don't need you to.
We don't
admit
even
that.
have a point guard.
Like
No one cares. Pick a season.
honestly. Listen, like season 5 was the most I played,
Okay.
and that was the most fun I had. Not
Okay.
because like what was going on, because like we was just running co-op. Like even though you didn't get banned, because you
that
missed
laugh, bro.
you missed one game because you were watching the podcast.
Yes, I remember.
So, like,
okay, what's your worst
I think-
season?
My worst season. This is like a hot take. Season 1, bro, because I hate that trophy case. Like how
Oh, for
how
God's
how
sake.
much? of
What's the
drama
time
is
code?
season 1. I'm sorry again. I'm
I hate it
sorry.
so much. You dropped the F bomb.
I'm sorry.
Here we go.
I really
It's a
thought this was my
joke.
civilized podcast. You
I'm
just
so sorry. It's just I really hated season 1 though. Like I
Okay,
liked
good.
playing the game, but I hated season 1.
season
I
5
find-
won. That's what's important.
I find it
Oh,
really
it
hysterical
lost, but it won.
that
We all lost. Yeah.
I find it very funny that the one person who got the podcast demonetized right now has had no bleeps. I find that interesting
That
because I'm
is
a
true.
professional.
That is true. Except the time you got the podcast demonetized.
I mean, that really wasn't my fault. I'll blame DBG for that.
Yeah, we could blame DBG. All right, let's move on. All right, so best season was 7, worst season was 5.
Debatable.
Close run up was 3. Best game mode. What are we saying? I'm going to go
Co-op.
first. Co-op.
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 No question.
Co-op. Not
Co-op.
even close.
Yeah, I feel like we're all
Co-op's
gonna
not even
agree
close.
there.
Like
Is that
co-op's
even?
not even
Is everyone
close.
going co-op?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
going to go clutch time online because I like
Come on,
5v5 more than
dude,
3v3. Hey, I like
dude.
5v5, man.
Oh,
What do you mean?
you like back cuts, right? You like sending back those. back those
Now,
cuts.
Yes,
that
but-
brings us to our next point. We should add co-op clutch time next year. 100%.
That would be
Yeah.
Oh,
That would be
Definitely.
great.
that would be
Yeah.
so fun. What? And with crossplay? We could
I don't
get-
know though. I
The
feel like that
whole
could
podcast,
really.
Josh, you could sell in a whole new mode. It would be amazing.
Oh my gosh. I don't be selling in co-ops.
Yeah,
Stop.
I mean,
You
isn't
just
that
said
just
corner.
isn't that just Rec though? I'm not really too familiar with Rec, so
Yeah, but it's been
Yeah,
my team
but
cards.
we're
Okay.
using our MyTeam cards. Exactly.
yeah.
it
So
is
that
like-
well, I'm asking. Yeah, I guess I asked that because it's like they have the capability to do it, so it's very
Mhm.
possible.
It would
Yeah,
be fun.
Yeah.
It would be fun.
Yeah,
And
it is
you'd get
possible.
you'd get people from Rec over, like it would just do.
And
so
crossplay,
many
I mean,
it
positive
opens
from
up
it.
the
yeah. I don't have
the
5
game base
friends,
to do it as well.
so
And
know.
you know the sweats are gonna be like, oh yeah, let's get your 5 and I'll get my 5, and
You
so
know
I'm gonna
crossplay is
keep-
going to bring a ton more people into co-op as well, by the way, because there's so many people who
Absolutely.
must have friends that just have an Xbox or whatever that just
Yup,
that's the only reason they can't
100%.
play. And most has got like a Discord with like a few thousand people in it. I think all trying to match up. Is
Yeah.
co-op and then 1 vote for clutch time?
I'm
Yeah.
not mad at co-op winning. I like co-op. I just prefer 5v5,
Yeah.
but that's just me.
Clutch time would have been second for me.
I
Yeah,
would
it's 1 and 2
Yeah.
for sure. 1 and
Yeah.
2.
Un-
Yeah.
unlimited,
most definitely.
unlimited is 2 for me.
What's
Yeah,
your
I
record
give
this season?
respect
What's
to
your record
Unlimited
last
this
season?
year.
My record 2 seasons ago was 5-20. I didn't play last season.
5 and 20.
Yeah, that was with the
Because
Knicks team. That was
You
with
could
the
have at
Knicks
least
team,
made
my
it
defense.
420 just for the lols. What were you saying, Los?
I was saying Unlimited, the change they made this year, like adding rewards no matter what and all that, that was definitely a W. I got to give them that. Like, it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
definitely a
Yeah.
great addition.
AFK was a W.
RIP AFK. I agree.
That's the last time we're going to talk about that this year. Should we take a moment?
That's the
for
last time
AFK?
you're going to talk about that.
We'll bring it back next year when it's all broken again.
Yeah,
Okay, worst game mode.
limited.
Yep.
Limited.
Everyone
For sure.
limited.
The rewards for limited haven't been good once this entire year. And that's the whole thing. And I do like that they changed it
People
to
don't like
weekly.
Matherin?
Matherin's okay, but like he's just okay. You grinded 6 weeks through probably because they changed it to a weekly structure. Well, I don't remember if it was a weekly structure at that point, but regardless, you grinded 6 weeks in a row and through RNG to get Benedict Matherin. Like, that's kind of what I'm talking about. Like the issue I think with limited, and I think it has a lot of potential and I like the game mode a lot. The issue I've always had with it, and I'll continue to have, is that there's no way to make up rings. So if you just don't have your life tethered to 2K every single week for 6 weeks, you're just not going to get that end reward. And I've always thought that was really
Isn't
stupid.
that a bit contradictory though? Because if the reward's not good, it doesn't matter anyway.
Well, I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, I'm not talking about people who are going to sweat through that anyway for a good reward. It's just like, why would you play it? The prevailing thought behind limited is, well, if I can't play it every single week or every single weekend, I'm not going to do it anyway, even if the reward's good. So it's just
I don't know
like,
about this stuff. I get what you're saying. I think when it comes to like challenges specifically or spotlights or whatever, they should be indefinite, right? But I think having like timed events, which really is what limited is, it's just a timed event every week, is fine. Like they can't expect people to be available.
Well, no, but there just needs to be some way to make up for it at some point, right?
Like, I don't think there does.
Yeah, I think
when it comes, it's okay for people not to get.
If they did
on holiday for 2 weeks.
If they did limited for 2 weeks out of every season or something, so it was like a manageable thing that a normal human being could do. That's not like a 2K Gremlin Sweatlord, right? That's on the game every single day. It's just like there needs to be some way for just somebody who's not even like a casual, but just somebody who has a life outside of staring at a computer screen and playing 2K every single day to like also participate in it. Because majority of people just look at limited
but
and
if
they're
you're
like,
away
well,
for that 2 weeks, then you've got the same.
Yeah, but all you have to do is just be away for 1 week, and you can't get it.
You said away.
Yeah.
Yo, you trying to be funny, you lose?
No, but like it's just that's my problem with limited this entire time. Is it's just you have to be tethered to the console.
I mean, they did make it 7 days this year. We all forget.
Yeah, but they also made the RNG worse. So like now you play more games, which is fine.
True.
But it's just like it's a game mode that was supposed to be the casual game mode, and then they turned it into like a forced sweat game mode because you have to do things in a very specific way. It's just I don't like the concept that they've done with the rings and forcing you to play it every single weekend. There can be a game mode like that. Like, don't get me wrong, that's totally fine. It's just when you only have the 3 options for online 5v5, really, or like full teams, and it's just unlimited, which is a sweat fest. But I like the changes that they made this year. And then it's limited that you have to dedicate at least a few days every single week to, or else you're not getting anything, and the prizes aren't good anyway. Or draft where you have to pay to even play it. There just needs to be that casual mode, and I'm just annoyed.
Online is that mode?
I mean, I guess, but it's like some people want to play like full simulation NBA action, you know?
True,
like,
true.
You know?
Okay. I'm going to go TT offline. I'll get mine out the way. As long as TT offline exists as a mode, I will always vote it last. I'm sorry.
Which is funny because like 2K20.
I'm going to have more fun playing limited, even in the worst case scenario, than TT offline in the best case scenario.
Mm-hmm. Oh, TT offline. I thought you were talking about online.
Yeah. TT offline will forever be. Sorry, Mojo, no regrets.
No, but like,
damn.
I agree with you though, because it's just like what I said about limited being supposedly supposed to be for like casual players. Like that's just a personal opinion, but let's be real. Triple Threat Offline is supposed to be for casual players, but they ratchet the difficulty up so hard after 50 wins, and you have to play on All-Star for like 100. And yeah, that's not hard for any of us, but like, dude, take an average person who just likes to play 2K for funsies and throw them into All-Star. They're not going to have a fun time.
If they want to play 2K for fun, they're not going to TT offline. That's how bad the game mode is. Like,
no, yeah, but that's the problem.
That game's
I think
not
I've made
fun.
a strong case for offline now.
It's swinging hard. You made a good point on this, but that's the problem. Triple Threat Offline should be like a casual, friendly experience, because why would it not?
No, it wouldn't, because it's not fun. That's why.
Yeah, but it could be fun.
There's no way playing against the AI is fun unless you want to get something.
Yeah, if you no. I have stood firm on my pedestal that this game,
your little milk box.
Yeah, I'm a little soapbox that this game actually. Yeah, soapbox. It's a soapbox, but whatever.
Box of milk, you know.
I think it's. I don't know.
We were just gonna let that slide. Okay,
no,
where are we right now?
Hold on. Since
I'm gonna say
day
draft.
one.
Oh, sorry, Louise, you were going.
Since day one, I've said that this game actually is very fun to play on pro difficulty. Like it has been since like the first season. I've said that the game plays really well against the CPU on pro difficulty. Yeah. Obviously, people who sweat really hard are going to want more of a challenge. That's fine. But if you're just looking for like basketball simulation action and you just want to play the game for fun purposes, it plays the best on pro difficulty. So if all of Triple Threat was pro difficulty, I think a lot of people would have fun because you're able to mess around. You're able to use random cards. You either, you can use different play styles. You don't have to just send backdoor cuts every single possession.
Honestly, I reckon even if they put it on rookie, it's just a trash mode. I'll be honest. I just don't enjoy it. It's just,
I'm telling you,
It's slow. It's 10 wins an hour. It's just trash, bro.
And
It's
the
trash-
CP
it's
the
trash
CPU
for
walks
us,
the ball
but
up the court. They walk the ball up the court. They're running plays. It's two other people.
Yeah, but you gotta.
It's boring. That's boring.
Wait.
It's
All right,
boring
yo.
for us because we have a podcast dedicated to my team. Of course, it's boring for us. I'm talking about just a regular person who's like, yo, I just got off work. I kind of want to hoop with Steph Curry real quick.
Most people who get off work, they get online. Like, you know how
No,
many times
they do
back in
not.
the-
No,
listen,
they do
listen,
not.
Listen. The amount of times on 2K20 when people actually played the game, I would have to beg people to get off the game because they're down 50. And it's obvious that it's Friday night, they don't got to work for the weekend, and they just got on the game. They don't know what's going on. I'm like, bro, you suck at the game. Please those are the people who get online. They don't want to play offline. They want to get online, bro.
No, most people want to play offline. I promise. The majority, it's going to sound crazy because we're the way that we are.
Luz is right.
Like 95% of the people who actually play this game don't touch online at all. Period.
Guys, as much
Maybe
as
once
I'm
or twice.
enjoying this like full tilted debate about offline, like we had 2 hours in and we got like 20 awards to do. What's the
Okay,
worst
keep going.
game mode? What's the worst game mode? Where are we at? I've got TT offline.
I'm saying draft, man. I know we spoke about draft earlier, but I've got to go draft. High entry level. You can only flip 3 cards out of the 5 for no reason. You play with cards that are months old. You got to do 10 games, which takes, if you play 4 games, 5 hours. And then at the end of it, you get nothing for it. Nothing good is coming out of that game mode. It's not like you try the best cards because they don't give you the best cards. You don't get the rewards. You've got to pay a hedge fee. It should be amazing. And for what it is, it's nobody knows it exists because nobody plays it. So, yeah,
The way you said first for no reason was so dry. It made me laugh really hard. I just want to say that.
Dead man. All right, we got 1 TT offline, 1 draft. What else we got?
I guess I'll go next. Yo, Jazz, first of all, do you think Triple Threat Offline's issue is the vaults just not opening? If it was the same as Unlimited and open every game, you get a prize? Because I don't get it, because that's the only game mode you don't get a prize after every win. Triple Threat Online, you win, you get a ball drop. Limited, you get a thing. Every place you get something. That's the only place after a win you're not guaranteed anything.
It doesn't help. The mode is trash regardless. It doesn't help.
I played 450 Triple Threat Offline games to finish the trophy case with like designated teams in the past month. Like in the past month, I wish I counted how many times the vault opened. I really wish I did that, but it was terrible. Like it was like lower than 10% probably. It's that bad. But my worst game mode is definitely Limited. I hated how they did the requirements because like I love that mode so much, and the requirements this time around was just like the same stuff. It was just copy paste like every week. They never did it like themed. I wish they did it more themed teams, like stuff like that. That was always fun. And I hate that they do mystery players. Like, why is that a thing? And then at the end of the day, like, why did I grind for Iguodala? I don't get it, bro. I'm not Max Kellerman. I don't want Iguodala. Like, none of that stuff, bro. It don't make sense. But,
I want Iguodala.
Nah, that's one part. And then the 2 is even if they do, like, I like Bob Pettit a lot, but at the same time, they always give us a card that's like kind of outdated from the jump once you get there. Like, it needs to be one of the best cards if you're grinding for it. Like, getting a ring isn't easy.
It's like the best case scenario is it gets 3 days until the next season and then it's outdated, right? Like it's just always the case. I spoke about this last week. With Limited, I never missed a ring until like 3 months ago, and then I just gave up on the mode because I just wasn't interested anymore.
I did the same. I haven't looked back since.
Yeah,
it's been quite freeing. It's been nice. So yeah, that'd be the Limited to be second for me.
It's liberating.
So we got offline, TT offline, draft, and Limited. We got three way split. Right. Let's see where we end up.
Oh man, I'm actually going to say unlimited. That's where I'm at with it.
4-way tie.
with obvious reasons. I spoke on it last week, man. You know, I was up 4, man. The algo shift. The next thing you know, I score. Okay, by the way, all right, forget about the algo shift. I score, and then the other team gets team takeover, man. It's just stupid.
It's valid.
Man.
It's valid. It's a valid option.
The team take is wild this year. You can inbound the ball, or like you can just walk on the court, and the boys are like, "Damn, we're on fire now. Let's go."
Let's go. It's crazy, man. Just that.
Well, my least
alone,
favorite thing about this game is the gameplay, and Unlimited makes that stand out way more. Yeah,
that's it right there.
It's a good take, actually. I
Thank
don't know. Yeah, no, I'm going to stick with offline for forever. Right, we got a 4-way tie now.
There's no way to break it. We're just gonna basically just let this rock, I guess.
No, you got to pick something.
What do you mean, me?
Yeah, what's your worst game mode?
I already picked it.
He's on Limited.
Yeah, it's limited.
Oh,
I went first.
Unlimited.
I went first.
Okay.
Yeah, limited. Limited's the worst. No question.
Limited.
Though I
or
will be
unlimited?
honest. Limited. I will be honest. You guys have swayed me in certain regards. I actually realize I hate most of them. Now that I think about
Well,
it.
this is the problem. Like everything's getting one vote. Josh, where you at?
I already said TTO offline. Like I
TTO
can't stand
offline?
that game mode. It was either between that or clutch time offline, but offline period I don't like.
So the winners were TT offline and limited. They both got 2 votes, but because I have to change my vote, it's limited. Cool. Limited was game mode. I think that checks out.
Woo! Go limited.
I think there was everything was an option at a point. I think apart from co-op and clutch time online, probably. Right, best budget card this year. We're moving to cards now.
Ooh.
Donovan Mitchell.
Which
Season
one?
1 Donovan Mitchell.
The free one.
Yeah, the free
It's not
one.
a budget card.
It is a budget. It is.
No,
You
it's
don't have to pay
it's-
MT.
No.
I consider that a budget card. You don't have
Okay,
to
no
pay
one
MT.
cares what you consider. It's a different.
How is that not a
category.
budget card?
It's a
How-
different
Budget's gotta be
category.
viable. It's gotta be
Just
cheap.
wait it out.
How is that not a budget card though?
It's a different category. We've got 3.
Yeah, we're
reward cards
doing
coming
reward.
up.
We are
Budget
doing
card is like a
rewards,
cheap
yeah.
card from the auction house.
Yeah, because
Cheap
it's not
card,
guaranteed,
card.
so it has to be something.
I would say
No. He was guaranteed. You definitely had to do challenges to get
Okay,
it.
Don-
Yeah, but
Donovan
that was hard.
Mitchell
Like,
is
it's
a budget
still, like-
card. Is a budget card, but not in the parameters of this award.
I'm
Okay.
gonna go with a maybe a controversial one. I'm gonna say the best budget card was glitched Stephon Marbury. I think personally,
Oh, that's a good take. I like that one.
yeah,
He was
because
good.
I mean
That
at
is a
the
good
time, I mean he was still like I think 15 or so K around the time. So it's like he's not like a traditional budget card that's like 3,000 MT that you can get right now. But at the time, if you look at the available point guards, it was basically just him or like Josh said, Donovan Mitchell. Those were like the only 2 that you could get for reasonable prices. And Stephon Marbury himself really just saved so many people from having to get dunked on by John Wall every 5 seconds and stuff like that. So
I
Good
would
take.
say between Lance Stevenson's diamond and Alex Caruso. I think.
Caruso, point guard
Caruso's
Caruso.
the other one, yeah.
Shout.
Like even he like you put him on the ball handler, he's getting you stops like full court press. He's getting stops in the paint. I kind of lean more towards Lance though because like I personally love Lance and like offensively he was a lot better than Caruso, but he still held his own on the defensive end. So that's how I'll go with Lance Stevenson's diamond.
I have to go with literally. I think this was the best card of the set, and everybody say, "Oh, Yao was the best card." No, the best card of the clip set was not Yao Ming. It was Wesley Person. Wesley Person to me was the best, by far the best
Very good
budget
shout.
card, man, of the year, man. When you think about, Mikal Bridges, Oscar, that's when Oscar, people's like, oh shoot, this could be something. Oscar uppers unequivocally, and Jazz can attest to this, the best uppers. He uses T-Mac, he knows. I mean, he dogs people with T-Mac. So that shot timing on quick was amazing. MJ dribble six, Wesley Persons was him at the 2, man. You could play him anywhere 2-3. He was that dude for me, for a lot of people. So
I'm gonna go left field a little bit with this one. I'm gonna say it's Terry Dishinger right now. He is. You can lock
I
him
don't
in
know.
for about 25K.
that's a wild hot take.
I don't. You know why I
respect
don't
it.
like that though. I don't like that because like I thought he was going off when the cards first came out. But I guess I could see why you would say it.
But he's
now.
valid now.
Yeah, he's my shooting guard.
He's
now.
he's on my bench. I sold Endgame KD because I prefer Terry.
I run him over Endgame KD for sure. Yeah.
Terry's tough.
How much is his
25K for
lock-in?
that lock-in is crazy.
Oh, okay. 25.
Like 30K.
I paid 24K to lock in for him a couple
Wow.
days ago. Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we got to reach a conclusion.
I'm going to throw out a diamond card as well. I'm going to throw out Diamond Luol Deng from
that's a good
season
shout.
3. Yeah, shooting guard 6'9". That was a very good card. I'm happy to back Matt's one though. Wesley Person. That was a very good card. That was like triple threat offline speed run City.
Yeah.
Because you just try and get triple offline done as quickly as possible because of how it is. Yeah, I did like that little Deng card though. Oh.
Little stuff too.
I
Fair
feel
enough.
like I can't really like compare or like talk right now of like one because obviously at the times I didn't really have most of the cards. Like it's all luck based on my ends. But right now, if we're talking right now, I really like. I feel like it's unfair if I pick a card that's cheap now when he didn't like come out cheap. So I guess we'll go Verajao. He's cheap from day
he's a
one,
great
and I
shout.
think
Yeah,
Verajao
that's
is the
a good
best
one.
budget card off drop.
He's literally a top 5 power forward, I think. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
I think I'm good to go Wesley as well. Should we go Wesley? Does everyone agree?
We can
that
go Wesley.
I'm good with
Yeah,
Wesley.
I could go. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I could do that.
He fits the criteria, doesn't he? He punched above his weight because he was actually a low tier card that could compete.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and,
and
Wesley
analytics
was
from
him.
early.
and he was cheap. Yeah, out the gate. Okay, Wesley's a good shout.
Never had him, so I wouldn't know.
Never pulled him. Never pulled him. All right. So now, Josh, now you can talk about Donovan Mitchell. So we're doing best grindable cards, so non-RNG reward. So we're including all the takeovers that were grindable as well, obviously.
Okay.
But we've got everything, right? We've got the 2-week events. We've got trophy case. Every card in trophy case. This is wide open. Level 4.
We're doing best, right?
Yeah, best and then worst. Worst is going to be
I'm gonna start here because I have a controversial opinion. I think like
I will
James Worthy had like the most longevity, I think, out of any of like the grindable cards because people were running him for like 3 or 4 months. But I would be willing to say the most overpowered and broken grindable card was Sabonis when he first came out before they patched mashing. You literally could not stop him. He was
the original Pink Diamond trophy case.
Yeah, the original Pink Diamond trophy case Sabonis was so incredibly broken that even Sabonis himself could not stop Sabonis. You would literally score every single time by just doing 2 pump fakes and putting in a layup.
It's a valid take.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with him personally.
Who else we got?
I'm going to throw in KG, the Opal KG from the
KG's a great shot.
The things. But yeah, when he dropped, he was like the things. I can't remember what they're called. When he dropped, he was like best power forward out there, or like second best, or whatever. It was a long grind to get him. It was, as usual, like over 20 hours or whatever. But he was top tier, and he had longevity as well. It wasn't like you complete them and then within a week there's another one. He was out there for a while. He was incredible. So yeah, I'll throw KG out there.
What are you gonna say? Go on, Matt.
I don't know, man. This is a tough one because both options are very, very good. I was going to say maybe Sabonis. Excuse me. Sorry, Paul. Hey.
Said it now.
Oh no.
Hey.
Monetized.
Hey.
But
I don't know. I think if Chad, dubs in the chair right there. Just dubs all right. Listen, if the fate of the universe was on the line and like the Martians had like the death beam pointed, at us at Earth, I think I would have to go with my boy Yaelin. I would have to go with Yee.
Yaelin.
Yaelin, man. How do you say it?
Yaelin.
Yee. Shout out to Yee, man.
Yaelin.
I'd go Yee, man.
Right.
Yee is an absolute beast, but give me Dr. J, man. Dr. J was a dog, unstoppable. I missed that card. Like I switched accounts. I wish I still had that card. Like he was.
Most unconvinced me. I'm going Dr. J, man. I totally forgot about that, man. He was him.
I'm taking a troll route. Dark Matter, Larry Bird from the trophy case.
And stop.
Okay, thanks for that. Let's move on. I'm gonna throw one out of left field a little bit. Pink Diamond Westbrook.
Westbrook.
People could have got him on day 2 for basically doing nothing.
Yeah.
So from grind to reward ratio, if you did that, it was probably the best free card you got all year.
True. I mean, the point guard position was so weak for so long, and you could literally dunk on everybody or just pump fake under the basket. So he was really the best, honestly.
It was just Donovan Mitchell and Derrick Rose and Westbrook, and that was it. That Donovan Mitchell was so good for his time, and that's another card that was around for a long time.
Yeah. What are we deciding on here? Where are we going? I could move to Dr. J.
I could wrap Dr. J. The grind was pretty intense for him, but he was probably the best shooting guard for a solid few months.
Yeah.
So
until teammate, basically.
Yeah. And if you badged him, he was good for a while. Wow.
Yeah.
I would say he was the best shooting guard until like Terry came out, basically. So
I think it's between E and Dr. J. Should we vote on those 2 cards?
No, we'll do Dr. J.
I'm
switching.
Dr. J.
Yeah, definitely. Most right.
Okay, worst grindable card.
Larry Bird, bro. Get out of here.
Patrick Ewing.
You know what? Ewing is a shout because he is that bad.
Slow timing.
They did him so dirty for no reason.
Patrick Ewing, man.
But think about this. You needed to grind for Patrick Ewing to get that Larry Bird, so it's even worse.
And Larry Bird was better. And Larry Bird was better. Like
honestly, I'm gonna Trae Young. It's Trae Young. It's Trae Young.
Larry Bird was crazy because you had to do so much to get him.
But honestly, once you got Larry Bird, aside from having a really bad jump shot and not really being able to move, he still played like relatively good defense and was good size
And you
wise
got a ton
at
of
that
stuff
time.
on the way to getting it.
Yes, yeah, and you did. But Trae Young, you got nothing. He couldn't do anything. People would actually get mad if you even mildly suggested that you could use him in any way, shape, or form. People didn't get mad at you for saying like, no, you can use Larry Bird. Because there is some truth to that.
DFS
But if you were
for 2 months because he said a compliment about that.
that's crazy. That's crazy. Nothing can be worse than that. Trae Young is the worst reward card we have ever seen. I stand firm. Maybe that unlimited Larry Bird from like 2K20 was really trash though. The diamond one, like the first unlimited reward.
Month one. Yeah, I remember.
But I still think Trae is the worst reward we've ever seen.
It's gonna be between those two, isn't it? It's between Trae and Larry, and it's close. It is close.
As a Knicks fan, I'm going Trae Young.
I don't think you guys remember how bad that Larry was when he dropped. Like, you guys are remembering it now because we got the free Invincible for doing it or whatever. But no, he is literally unusable. Like, people trying to score with him the 10 points to get the Invincible. You can't score 10. Like,
he's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
No, it's just a testament to how bad Trae Young is that there's even anything to compare to Larry Bird. It's crazy.
All right, we got a vote on it. Is there anyone else in contention? You think?
Trae Young.
I think these two are on an island on their own. Can we give a joint award? I'd like them both to have it. Larry Bird literally made me stop playing when I got the trophy case around Christmas time. And then I was like, "Oh, that's just it, then, isn't it? Great." The Trae Young, I mean, that we all know about that, but yeah, I can't separate them. They're both for the time you put into Larry, it was mad, and then for the fact that Trae Young was over Christmas, all the Christmas noobs, and should have been the highlight of the game mode, obviously being level 40. For that card to be that way, it's just awful, the pair of them.
Yeah, valid. Shall we vote then? We got a vote, mate.
The Trae.
I'm gonna go Trae, but it's close. Most nearly swung me, to be honest.
I'm not moving because I used Trae to get Kemp, and he was way better than Larry Bird by a mile.
But that was the worst thing about Trae Young is it's the one time they gave us beyond level 40, so we had to use that.
Yeah, and in that time, I probably would have never used him, but I've used him more than I've used Larry Bird, and that tells you a lot.
That's valid. That's valid. I'm going to stick with Trae. I just think it was even on paper, it was never going to work. Like, I just think it's such a bad idea. All right, we got.
I'm with you guys. It's the worst level 40 we've ever gotten, ever. Not even close. But I just feel like the grind for the trophy case should have deserved something. I do. Especially the name. Like, Trae Young's not usually that good in 2K. Like, there's not much you could do. But like Larry Bird, you could do a lot. Like,
I think the chat's going to be on your side for sure. Let's see where we are. So we're 2-1 Trae to Larry.
I'm going to go Trae as well because you just mentioned about beyond level 40, and that was like the only time you used him. I didn't even get Sean Kemp because of how bad Trae was. I didn't even want to use the card. So I never did the beyond level 40, and I just remembered that. So the fact that he was so bad, I didn't get it. And on my main account, like where I'm trying to get the collect level, that is the one card that I haven't got that I have no access to because they never put that into the token market because it was obviously tied to level 40. So in my collection, that is the one card this year that I didn't grind for, and it's because I had to use Trae Young, and I didn't do that. So
it's 3-1.
Larry Bird is so close. He's so close.
Yeah, he is. I mean, they are the two, in my opinion, the two worst ever. We need one more vote for Trae.
No, I'm going with Trae because Jazz. Remember, I went on stream and I was trying to grind for Sean Kemp. I'm trying to grind for Sean Kemp. It's like the last day, and when I tell you, Trae literally did everything wrong. I decided he literally tucked me in that stream. I was like, I don't want Sean Kemp anymore.
I talked about it before. He literally loaded up stream. He's like, I'm going to get Sean Kemp. Literally use Trae Young 15 minutes ended stream.
Like, I couldn't do it, bro. I couldn't do it. So I'm definitely going to Trae Young.
Josh. You were talking about skill issues.
He's horrible. No, he's horrible. Trae Young is dog water. It's dog water, bro.
All right, it's Trae then. It's Trae.
It's Trae. Congratulations to Trae.
Matt, are you there?
I already said my piece. I said Trae, man. Nice Trae. Sorry, I'm here. My bad. Trae is horrible. When I think about it, the card art, the pass accuracy, everything behind it was horrible. It led to the worst.
It did have lore.
And then on top of that, it just loots with the horrible season 3. Shout out to Lutz. There you go.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna do best card at every tier, and then we're gonna wrap this. That's where we are now. So we'll start out with Amethyst, I reckon.
Amethyst. But Wesley Persons, right? I believe we
Yeah.
have to agree.
Yeah.
Wesley Persons.
There's other
like-
options.
No, Taco. Taco wasn't Taco.
Yeah,
Taco's
Taco's
tough.
an option.
Oh,
Taco's
Taco.
Taco's up there.
Jarrett Allen's
I
in
hate
that
that
conversation. He's
Jared,
very
oh,
good
for
style.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Cooper.
this is-
Michael Cooper.
Yeah.
Rafe
Cooper was
LaFrance.
good.
Rafe LaFrance.
No one,
Sleeper. I
no one's
like
going
him.
to say that.
I like him though. I think he's good though. He was a good stretch big. At that time, we
Like
had no
Penny
chance.
Hardaway, the alternate reality guys for
Penny,
sure, in the conversation. Honestly, Amethyst Bull, you can make a case. He was one of the better big men of
The AD
game.
as well,
Yeah.
the one that came out later.
Yeah.
Very valid.
Amethyst Donovan Mitchell because he was a Knick. That's why I'll say that. Amethyst Donovan Mitchell. He's an alternate reality.
And
I feel
his
like Wesley is
KBJ.
clear.
Oh yeah, KPJ.
Wesley
Yeah.
KBJ's a great shout. Actually, he's a very good shout. Is
I
Wesley
think-
clear?
I don't
I'm
know
good
because
to go
Taco.
Wesley.
Yeah, we
Taco's
can
tough.
we can go Wesley, but
Taco-
Taco is annoying.
No,
I will
Taco's
say.
just like I don't think he was good, but not as long as people thought. Like he's just kind of like a limited filler. I would say KPJ.
As someone who uses like plays limited like heavy, like I played every week. I had neither of those cards, but Taco, I could not stop that card to save my life.
Yeah,
Like,
he's a
there was
problem.
no answers to that card, bro. As an Amy, crazy.
I might go Taco. You know, I might
gonna go Taco.
Yeah,
I'm with Taco. That's fine.
he was broken when he dropped. Are we going
You could
Taco?
you could still deploy
Yeah.
deploy him right now, and he's
Yeah,
broken.
you
He's
can get
annoying.
stuff.
Yeah.
People still use him in limited to this day. So
Yep.
yeah, it's
Mhm.
height,
Give me
isn't it?
Taco.
If you're tall, you're good.
It's close between him and Wesley, but we'll go Taco. I'm fine with that. Diamond.
Ah,
Mhm.
Best
I love
Diamond.
Diamond's Celine Stoudemire. I absolutely love that card. I breezed through
Great
Triple Offline like 3 seasons with that card. I never took him online. She's like 6'1".
we're not going
but
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan
Diamond?
Mitchell's up there.
Diamond. I think he's
My
perfect.
my
Who
my
else,
favorite
Darren?
diamond. My favorite diamond this year, I think that had the most longevity is Diamond Joe Smith. I know he's a lock in.
Yeah,
He had more longevity
incredible.
than Donovan though.
Yes.
He did. People used him for like three.
Yes.
I
three
used him in
months.
clutch
Still
the
use
other day.
And then you
Yeah.
got a duo as well, or an Evo or a duo, something like that.
Right.
Yeah. With
Uh,
Spremo.
Jonathan
Go to,
Isaac
like-
as well. Diamond Jonathan Isaac. He was around for a while.
Big
Mm.
Wang.
Wang's a good one.
Wang's yeah.
Dang had a solid like
Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks where he was like, well, I think legitimately the best shooting guard in the game for a very short period of time, but he was like in the top 3 for a long while.
Paul
I
Zingis
wanna
is in
s-
this conversation as well.
Yes.
Man, that
Yeah.
card was good.
I'm
What
shouting
we
out my
got?
boy Kemp and Manning, bro. Kemp and Manning were
Kemp was tough.
Kemp
was tough.
Kemp was good for a very long time too.
Yes, sir.
Oh,
I'm gonna go with Donovan Mitchell personally.
Yeah,
That's
I'll go
who my
Spider.
pick's gonna be.
I agree.
I feel like I was still running into Donovan Mitchell consistently, like heading into season 3.
He
And
carried
looking
the
through
last 3 months,
looking
yeah.
through the releases, I mean, realistically, like there were top tier cards that were better than Donovan Mitchell, but looking through like a relatively competent card that you could actually get if you weren't, let's just say, breaking TOS. Yeah, I mean, outside of like Caruso and Marbury, we really didn't get anything until like season 3 that could compete with Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah. Valid. Yeah. Is everyone okay with that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm fine with that.
Put that-
Yeah.
Donovan Mitchell. All right. Pink diamonds. This is where things get
Hmm.
trickier.
Taco.
Yeah, Taco.
There's
Yeah,
two
yeah,
real
Taco.
contenders to tackle.
Tim Thomas and Taco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tim Thomas and Taco.
That's good.
I'm not
I'm
going to go
gonna-
with either of them.
I was gonna say Tim Thomas though, only because like he came out before Taco and still had longer longevity. You can still use Taco now, but I feel like and Tim Thomas changed the game. Like
Yeah,
he
that's
was game
true.
defining.
Here
So I
is
would
my
say Tim
case
Thomas.
for
He
Taco.
came out in
right?
November.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
My
that's-
case for Taco is twofold, right? A, Tim Thomas cost like a kajillion MT at the time. And there was a bit of a skill gap to using Tim Thomas. Like anyone could deploy Tim Thomas and he would be a serviceable small forward, but to use him to his like maximum value, not a lot of people could do that. And I mean this in the nicest way possible. Taco is idiot proof. You can literally put Taco on your team and he will instantaneously make a difference without you having to know anything. He's just that big and broken.
You
Yeah.
ready for the outlier?
Agreed.
But
Kareem. That's who I'm going with.
that is
Okay.
such a hot
Yeah.
take. It's not even funny.
The one in the lock-in for Tim Thomas, the pickup
Yeah.
one.
The Pioneers one. Yeah.
Pioneers
He
one.
ran until He ran the whole
He did.
load.
He did.
And
I
the
still
reason
think-
I've got him over Tim was a better card, but Tim was so inaccessible until they basically did the DeRozan thing that I think to 99% of the community he was irrelevant.
And what
You
I
did
said
guess
see
about
him very
Taco,
often. Not many people had him.
I think
what
it
I said
depends on
about
how you look
Taco,
at it.
Everyone
I
had
could easily
Kareem.
say about
They gave
him,
Kareem
too.
away for $50.
I think it depends on all how you look at it. Because like your reason is for like how inaccessible Tim Thomas was, and for me it was just off the simple fact that like he was just game defining. That's what I mean. Like he changed the game. That's why I chose him. But I
There's
get
a
what
lot
you
of
mean with
parameters you
Kareem.
can look at. You
Yeah.
can say it's the best card, most memorable card, most impactful card. I'm trying to look at it from an impactful standpoint, and I think Kareem had the most impact.
I wanted to say Taco and I wanted to be right, but I've actually gone through and looked at like the releases post Kareem, and Jazz is 100% correct. We did not get a center that was even remotely competent to Kareem until we got Yao 2 seasons. Like,
and then it took a
literally,
long time to get Kareem off your bench, by the way.
Yes, it did.
So we got two centers that were good enough to replace him. Yeah, I'm going Kareem,
Yeah.
but you guys, I don't think I'm going to win this, and I think the chat's probably going to be going LOL Tim Thomas, but that's where we are. Who you got?
I'm going to go Tim Thomas. I'm going to go with Josh. I'm going to go Tim Thomas with Taco second and then Reem third.
Yeah, okay.
On my no auction house team, my best pink diamond the whole year, man, held me down in limited was Elgin Baylor and then Mo Bamba. But picking through who I played against, like Luz was saying, Tim Thomas is hard to use. So if like someone wasn't that good, like he wouldn't be able to use it, or plus like not too many people could afford. I think Taco still gives me trouble till like maybe a month ago or a week ago. So I'm taking Taco.
All right, we got 2 for Tim, 1 for Taco, 1 for Reem. Waiting on Ludes and Matt.
I'm actually going to change. Oh, sorry, Matt.
No, you're good. This is tough, man.
He's doing research. He's doing research.
I'm in here. Like, this is
I
tough.
wanted to say Taco. I'm not going to say Tim Thomas because I do think there was a bit of a skill gap to using him to like his full potential. So I think that helped kind of like tame a lot because I ran into Tim Thomas pretty often in Unlimited, and majority of the time people would just use him as a 3-and-D wing, which is like you spent 2 million MT for a 3-and-D wing. Why'd you do that? But I will say Taco, I think, is maybe the better card because you can still deploy Taco in the best lineups in the game right now, and like he's been out for a while. But I'm thinking back to my mindset when I had like not great centers. You know, I was trying to use centers that were relatively affordable, which there weren't any at the time. And anytime I would run into Kareem, he would absolutely destroy me because he was broken in regards to rebounding, and there was no way to out rebound him unless you had another Kareem. And I think it gets understated how overpowered Kareem really was.
Most people that used Kareem and Tim Thomas were more effective with Kareem.
That's because Kareem is effective by himself.
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's a handful of people who knew how to use Tim Thomas.
So I'm gonna go Kareem.
You're getting Kareem. All right, Kareem's in the running. Matt.
I'm in a conundrum.
Tim Thomas 2, Taco 1.
I'm in a conundrum because I'm looking through here, and there is not a pink diamond for me that is comparable to the very first one that was groundable, and that was Scottie Pippen, man. I think Pippen for me was
coming out left field.
Yeah, that I love Pippen, man. Pippen was good for me.
Pippen was a dog.
He
was a dog.
Y'all got to give it up, man. Y'all got to listen. There's only 2 pink diamonds early on that I can remember that were really tough. One was Pippen, another was James freaking Worthy. Okay,
yeah, Worthy's a good shot.
I think Pippen for me, man, he held it down for a very, very long time. As a matter of fact, even when Trae Young came out season 3, he still was serviceable until his opal. So I mean,
I agree with you, Matt. I like that pick. Man, Pippen, man, hashtag shake, man. That's what I'm gonna say.
Shout out to Joey
Diamond picking, hashtag shake, man. Hashtag
we got a winner. Right, so it was split. It was 50-50 with Kareem and Tim Thomas, but I got to change my vote. So Tim Thomas wins, which is probably good.
You convinced me to change my vote and then changed your vote at the end.
No, I have to. I want to change my choice. Guys, is Yao the best Galaxy Opal?
Yes.
You gotta be.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree?
I think it's RJ Barrett.
There's been some other good ones, but he is just. I mean, he had like Ben Simmons out there running the place for a while, but at point guard. But Yao was just for the time he came out, just mental. Like,
yeah.
The person who inputted 80 speed that day, they wanted to see it burn. The person who put 80 speed on Yao in January or February.
It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. In the chat, if you think there's any other Galaxy Opals worth considering, there's probably a few. E was really, really good. really undervalued for the time that he ran. KG was fantastic. There were some good Galaxy Opals, but I think Yao is just so clear. It's not even worth discussing.
None of the
Shout
other
out to my boy
Opals-
Marcus Sol.
Yeah, Marcus
Oh,
Hall.
Marcus Hall,
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh,
It's still run
that
down.
is my guy. That is my guy.
He's
And
tough.
I think
Just
it
getting
really
gold
just
for
comes
myself.
down to the fact that I don't think there are any other Opals that didn't have a counter except Yao. Yao didn't have a counter.
Yeah.
The only
Yeah,
counter to
yeah.
Yao was Yao until we got Pink Diamond Mark Eaton, and then you were just like hemorrhaging your own offense to stop Yao.
Yeah, but it's just completely broken. All right, we're going to do Dark Matter. This is how we're going to go. So I was going to do point guard, shooting guard, small forward, etc. But you know what? It's nearly 2.5 hours. Let's do Dark Matter. In fact, before we do Dark Matter, let's do lock-in. And then we'll do Dark
Okay.
Matter.
Okay.
What's the best lock-in? Because there's 3 options, right? I would say
Yeah.
Tim, Manute, Terry.
Terry.
Manute. Easy.
I think Minute's the best one, but I do think Tim was really good for his time though, and he was so much better than every small forward that we saw. But Minute's literally so giant that it's pointless.
Whoa,
idiot.
hold on.
I don't like-
Whoa. Why is Chet not in here? Because Chet is really tough. Hold up now.
Because
Let's
he came
not
at the same
disrespect
time
Chet
as
Holmgren.
Manute.
Can I
And
say?
Bol Bol as well.
Yeah,
Actually,
Bol Bol.
It was Bol Bol that
He should be,
calmed
you're
me on
right.
Chet.
He's good. He's good.
Only reason
But
I
he's
say
not,
Terry.
he's
though.
not Manute Ball.
No, but he's
Only-
he's tough. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Only
yeah.
reason why I would say Terry though is because like back to the whole taco thing, Manute is idiot proof. So like I want to take him off the list for that reason. And then it's like Tim Thomas, not everyone could use him, but I feel like Terry Dissinger is like the balance of like both, where like you can use him and he kind of be like idiot proof because just go dunk the ball. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's why I would say Terry. That's the only
Yeah,
reason.
Terry's probably my favorite card, but I'm not going to vote for him because of the fact the other two. It's Manute. Because
Yeah,
he's
it has to
idiot-proof.
be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
He's actually
think
beyond
Minute's-
idiot proof.
He's the best card, obviously, but he's just so expensive and you barely see him, like that type of thing. Like very
Yeah.
few people got him. So in that case, I want to say Tim Thomas too, but like he was, like you said, he's hard to use for everyone. But I guess I'll take Tim just because that. But the best, obviously, is Manu. Like,
Yeah. I think we've got 3 for Manute. Where were you at, JD?
I'll go Tim Thomas just because I feel like you could have locked him in. Like you could lock him in like the day when he came out, and he was like 5 mil, but you could lock him in like 2 months later
That is true. It's more
for like
accessible.
way less, and he was still
Ultimately.
like the top of the thing. Now Manu obviously is still like dumb expensive even at this point. Even though I've got all of them, so I've played with all of them. But I'd say Terry is fantastic, and I love using him. But I think Tim, for his time, the longevity he has, I'm gonna go Tim Thomas.
All right. I think we've got 3 for Manute, 2 for Tim, and 1 for Terry. So Manute's taken it. But Tim is, I think out of Tim and Manute, go either way. I think. I think it'll be
Yeah, I think
perfectly
so.
divided in the
Yeah.
chat. Right, Dark Matter.
Oh, I'm
Issue
gonna
with
let y'all finish. But Victor Wembanyama is the greatest team card of all time.
I thought we was doing no invincibles.
I should have specified, yeah.
Well,
no.
games.
No,
You
Matt
make the
jumped
next-
the
you can make
gun.
a case
I'm going-
for the next
T-Mac's
one, though.
invincible.
Radiant
Invincibles is
T
next.
Mac.
That's my bad. I should have
Radiant-
clarified.
Okay,
Radiant
my
T
bad.
Mac. Radiant T Mac is my vote.
Yeah,
Yeah.
T Mac.
It is T-Mac, yeah, for me. Not close.
out of position, Kevin Garnett, man, that card is a problem. If you don't
Now,
have him,
Will.
pick him up now, bro.
You're still
No,
hyping him
Now,
up
Will,
now
bro.
in
Out of
the-
position, Kevin Garnett, bro. I pulled him out of a co-op pack like last season, and he's my favorite card by far in the game. Like by far. Not even close.
Interesting. All right.
I'm actually
going
gonna go. I'm gonna go hot take, and I'm just gonna say Hero Yao. Still,
Valid.
Still
This is
Hero, yeah.
valid. They're both
Yeah.
valid takes.
T-Mac, you could stop. You could stop T-Mac. You could. You realistically could. If you're playing defense,
Look at
Tough
Jazz's
enough?
face. He's like,
okay,
Stop
Jazz,
him, bro.
Mr. I'm number one Radiant T-Mac user. Look, I'm not saying it's easy to stop T-Mac, but you can. You know what you can't stop? Yao. It's just not possible.
yes,
If you don't
I
have
mean, if
Yao.
you're going to say Yao, then say Manute.
Yeah, but Minute's a lock-in. It's different.
They're both dark matters. They're both dark matters. I'm going T-Mac. Who did you have, Matt?
Oh, you know I'm running with T-Mac. I apologize for the forwardness. I didn't know we was doing it.
No, it's cool.
My bad.
I'll let
My
you
bad.
cover the next one because I think it's going to
Yeah.
be unanimous. Yeah.
It has
Um,
to be. It has to be. And I'm a T-Mac. Listen, while we talk about T-Mac, Invincible T-Mac for one is one of the greatest cards. I love it. It's one of my favorite cards ever. Okay.
Yeah.
But there has never ever been a card like we just received this year. The closest ones I've seen is probably 21 Splash Zone Invincible Bobo. Wimbenyama is different, and I don't know what they're gonna do going forward in 24. Jesus.
Yeah,
that's all I got to say. That's it.
Yeah. Okay, T-Mac has won this. I'm gonna do this for you. Next one was Invincibles. I'm just gonna cover the next two. Okay. Next one was Invincibles. Is Wemby. T-Mac a close second. Everyone agree?
Wemby is different.
Wemby
Absolutely different.
It's unreal.
I'm taking Lamar Odom over T-Mac just because the Radiant T-Mac is just there. Lamar Odom,
you're not wrong. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Wemby's the best card in my team, like that you could buy straight up, like not Manute Ball type. Yeah.
Fair. End games, I'm assuming we all agree that they're all the best and all the worst because they're all the same. Yeah.
Copy.
Agreed.
Yeah. Stephen Curry's definitely the best. Stephen Curry's definitely the best because of how broken he is.
You voting Steph as best end game?
Yeah, you've seen on co-op. You've seen how every time we go against him, it's just always nonsense.
It's
I don't guard him. It's actually DVG.
I know you.
Stephen Curry is kind of like moments Damian Lillard. Like he gives you an algo boost for just using him.
Yeah, literally.
But I will say, if you've run into Giannis is actually the most broken end game card. He's like literally the most annoying card I've ever dealt with.
I used him briefly.
Like Wemby's annoying, but Giannis, like they just literally the CPU takes control of Giannis and plays defense on you in such a aggressive fashion. You just like can't do anything. It sucks.
Yeah. Cool. I'm really looking forward to like watching this like live to see what the chat is saying because I think there's going to be some heated debate, more heated than we've had here. Losers had some absolute shockers today.
I'm sure the chat right now is talking. They're talking real.
They're not going to like some of these things. All right, guys, let's wrap it up. One thing from all of you. What was your best moment of the year, worst moment of the year, and then we'll call it. Matt, you want to go first? Best moment of the year, worst moment of the year.
I would have to say for me, man, the best moment of the year, if I have to name one, would be not even in-game related, just being, around the community, man. The community has been such a dub, and just being around the massive, group of people, and playing in co-op, meeting new people, engaging, in different, subjects, topics while we're playing, ball. It's just co-op brought us all together. I think that's probably one of the best modes we've seen in a long, long time. And if I have to, say a high point, it would be that. The lowest point for me, there's a few, things I could say, but with everything that's happened to me, with seeing the bans and seeing the overinflated, VC prices and going forward towards like the pack odds and everything, I can talk about less than 2% odds, man. All that ties in together, man. I've took some hits this year. Okay, personally, I put myself out on Front Street. I've took some hits. I think we all have this year. But with that being said, I really can't point out a low. I know this. I can't let that define me going to 2K24. You know what I'm saying? We got to all move forward for those lows and keep it moving. So I'll just say that.
Nice. Yeah. Well said. Josh, any highs or just all lows?
The best moment for me this year was definitely when you got your logo. It was very emotional.
You cried, didn't you?
Yeah, I did cry. Because
can we get some W's for Toppy Josh?
It was just crazy to see because, like, when we started the whole you started the whole podcast, and then just to see where you came from was just like it was nice to see. So that's definitely like the best moment. The worst moment, trying to get Sean Kemp. That was the worst. Like
it was your worst.
That was the worst moment.
Oh, it was so hard to watch. Okay, good. I appreciate that, by the way. I appreciate that. Lutz, best and worst.
Best moment, getting a divorce. We're talking 2K.
Yeah. That's real though.
Let's see.
If that's where we are, I've got to say. I'm just saying.
Let's see. Best moment this year. it's bad. I don't want to sound like a doomer, but I can't think of any great moments in relation to 2K at all this year. I mean, I guess joining the podcast, sure, let's do that. Let's get sentimental out here. Laughing through the pain. Worst moment, LeBron not getting any type of card for his historic milestone. I would say is probably the worst moment that we experienced this year, because it's I talk about cards being idiot proof. Hate to break it to you, but like giving LeBron even like a ruby that evos to a pink diamond is an idiot proof PR move, and they just didn't do it.
Yeah.
And it just is baffling to me. And I think that has to, the bans were definitely bad for sure, but I feel like, you know, it's not entirely surprising because we knew that things were going not great from like a monetary standpoint. So I figured they were going to do something like that, if not this year, next year. But the LeBron thing was just absolutely baffling. I never in a million years thought they weren't going to do that, because they gave us a Westbrook card like anyone cared about that when he broke the triple-double record. So it was weird for sure.
Yeah, valid. Mos?
So I agree with the whole lowest thing. With the LeBron thing, that was definitely a low. I think the trophy case was a low. I'm starting low first so I can end on a high, you feel me? But yeah, and then I think the last thing, my lowest moment this year was definitely me selling that trophy case piece. Like that was just, I think that was just terrible on the community part. Like it wasn't in anything. They didn't show it. Like that they edited that. You can't just edit something into a game. Like that was something simple that I shouldn't get upset about anymore. Like I'm fine. I'm over it, supposedly, even though you just reminded me. But I think overall, like whenever 2K adds something like that, they just gotta put it in the notes. It was not in the patch notes. I checked. There was nothing there. So that's one. And then the high, man, seeing myself on 2K TV this year, that's something I dreamt of. Like I've been playing 2K forever. Like I'm sorry for like to my own horn or anything, but like I've literally been playing 2K my whole life. So seeing that, it was just surreal. That's my high. Obviously, I love the co-op. I love like how the community's been coming together. Meeting all these great people. I shout out to all the younger creators or just people who've been doing it for the first time. I see them. I see what they've been doing, and I love what the community has become. It's becoming less and less toxic. I know it's crazy to say that, but I see it. Like
it is.
As someone, yeah. So shout out to all that, and hopefully next year is going to be even better.
Perfect. JD.
I'll do the same as Mo. So I'll start low and then end on the high. I think Luz hit it with the LeBron thing. That was just unforgivable. And then you like, from my point of view,
that's the one I hit on.
Yeah, the LeBron thing was something else. And then like, the exchange this year, that's something in FIFA. I love the SBCs every day. And then the exchange, when they brought it into 2K, it was meant to be incredible. This year it's been on its face. The token market, the collector level. I think the collector level hurts because, this is going out on the 16th of July. Still not done. Still not there. And they amended it midway through the year. So I think it was clear that they, from early, didn't really care about it or know that it needed to be finished.
Can we just touch on that real quick? Because we haven't. The collector level is an L.
Oh, it's shocking.
Massively.
Shocking.
People came at me last week for not talking about it. So
it started out not too much of an L because like we got Joakim Noah, who was literally one of the best centers in the game. And I was like, oh, okay, like collector level might mean something this year. And then it didn't.
It's the worst. It's the absolute
and then it
worst.
didn't. Yeah, shout out to TK. He's top right now. And I think literally yesterday he hit 3,200. So he's still 50 cards away. And obviously they're dropping 5 cards on Tuesday, 10 cards on Fridays. But he's still 3 weeks. I think he's pending August the 4th is the date he's going to finish it. And that's the first guy who owns everything in the game. So like, what about everybody else who wants
and look
to
at the reward?
Exactly, endgame Rashad, which
bad.
is just KD, who's been out for however long. So yeah, for me, who's got a series dedicated to the collector level, it's the collector level.
Yeah.
And then best moment, I think I'll follow what Matt said. It's just the being in the community, being able to do this as a job for another year has been mad.
Awesome.
I like Lou said, I can't think of a 2K related moment that's there. So I'm just going to go with the community aspect of it and the fact that I can do this.
Yeah.
All right. I'll go last then. So I think the lowest moment for me was the ban times for me. Like it just wasn't it was the least fun the community has been for as long as I can remember. It had just this kind of relentless knock-on effect. I remember when it kind of dipped into like 250k, and it just felt like it was going on for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we just couldn't get away from it. I know we were trying to get away from it on the podcast, but it was kind of unavoidable. So I think for a low, it was that really. I think it just created a real month of like kind of toxicity. The high for me really is, I know this isn't a cool thing to say, again, I don't care. It has been my connection to 2K that I've built over this year. I think the fact that they gave me a logo was a huge deal for me. You can have whatever opinions you want. I actually think most people who say they don't want a logo probably do. It's what is the downside of being acknowledged by the game that you invest your time and energy into? So it was a huge deal for me. Obviously, I've got to do a lot of other things with them. I'm doing giveaways and stuff now as well. They give me early access. I've got some trips coming up that they are kind of sorting me out on. But really, it's been good to feel like I'm having a positive impact behind the scenes. When we set up this podcast a couple of years ago, it was very much just a bunch of guys just giving their opinion on stuff. And the podcast really evolved into me becoming a next maker. And I think it's been one of the most positive things this year that people haven't realized, that a platform that can be critical and, that isn't, always singing praises can be brought, behind the curtain a little bit to have an influence, which I think is a really big deal, to be honest. I think it's a really big deal and breaks a lot of narratives. So that's been the upside for me. I'm going to give out one final award, well, two technically. Best podcast this year definitely has to be us. Unfortunately, that makes us the worst podcast as well because we're the only one.
Oh man,
we'll end on that note. I'm going to try and get the charity tournament together for next week, guys. I'm not going to make any promises because there's a lot to do, but I am going to try. Next couple of days, I'm going to get on it. And,
I'm going to make it past round 2 this time. I promise. The all criminal squad is looking tight.
It's still crazy that you went the furthest out of all the.
I know. And look. If there's any NBA players that maybe have a good MyTeam card that are watching this, can you go commit a crime? I need help.
It makes
just
sense.
like a misdemeanor.
Yeah, just mine.
Yeah, just a misdemeanor, a little fine, but you can join the squad.
Yeah, don't get yourself suspended for 6 months, but just a five.
Yeah, please don't. Fine. Or if 2K wants to put Imani Bates in the game, that would be ideal.
All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who supported the podcast this year. It's been awesome to have it back. I've loved, working with these guys every week, and every guest we've had on has just brought like pure entertainment to everyone's weekend. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching it this year. This will be a wrap until 2K24. We'll be back the first week. But yeah, you guys want to say anything before we throw it away for another year?
I want to say a huge shout out to you, man. We appreciate what you're doing. Everything you said, man, about you being a part of 2K, well deserved. Well, I don't think anyone should look down on that one bit at all. Like we all, like we said, we love 2K and all this. And at the end of the day, no matter what bad happens, you being a part of it is only going to make it better. There's nothing bad about it. So no one should say bad things about people who want to be or any of that stuff. But overall, man, thank you for what you do. We can't wait till next year. And make sure you guys subscribe. Like he hasn't mentioned that from the beginning, but if you're not subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. That's one. And yeah, wrap it up. Who's next?
Anyone else want to go? Come on back, Josh. Ludes.
All right. I got you. Listen, the podcast for me personally has provided not only a vibe, but it's been a great space, not just to talk amongst the fellas, talk amongst the guys, but to really, join together, and come up with some creative concepts and, and just be together. It's just been good. You know what I'm saying? For me, for a person that has zero friends, I don't have a friend in the world. I can say this, man, these guys have provided that, man. So I'm very, very, very appreciative of that. You know what I'm saying? It's been a great space and a safe space for me, outside my business life and outside the things that I do in life and the hustle and the bustle of the world, man, this right here has been a complete joy for me. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate everybody that has came in here and I've interacted with, such as JD, Mos, I can mention Jacob, of course, DBG. There's so many that is, came in here. I can mention all the guests, you know what I'm saying? And everybody that I've talked to, interacted with, it's always been a joy, and I've gleaned and learned from it, So with that being said, this podcast is amazing. It's on the up and the best is yet to come. Big shout out and dubs in the chat to KillaJosh, CheapLudez, and especially AllThatJaz. I think that dubs all around, man.
Appreciate
we got to do it.
Yeah.
I wanna give a quick shout out to my guy Jazz and Jaquel real quick. Listen, real quick. I want to give a quick shout out to them,
right.
Jazz and Jaquel, introducing me to the whole podcast scene and then just seeing it come as far as it did, and I know it's on its way up from here. I'm glad to be a part of it, and I can't wait to see what else you have in store. And I'm glad I got to meet Ludez, Matt, and even other bigger content creators like Mo, somebody I used to watch when I was like what, still in high school.
Yeah.
JD, somebody with a nice name, really, really great name. You know what I'm saying? Like 10 out of 10 name.
What, you
But
mean his
yeah,
actual
other
first name?
yeah.
We
But
didn't do an
other than
award
that,
for Best Josh. We should have done that.
Oh no, let's not do that. We know I'm gonna win. I don't want to hurt no feelings.
It's
I don't want
okay.
to hurt no feelings. But yeah, no, I really appreciate all you guys, and I can't wait to see what you guys have in stores for your channels and being on this podcast as well.
Yeah. All right, I'll wrap it. Yeah, again, a big thank you.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah. You know what? It's fine. No, I just wanted. Yeah, I just wanted to say, like, first off, we're not doing any more podcasts for the remainder of 2K24, but we're still doing other things. Like, we're not disappearing into the ether. So that should be. Oh yeah, okay. All right, he is. I'm sorry, Jazz is, but no one else is. Okay, but yeah, no, the podcast has been cool. Obviously, we're coming back next year. I'm sure there's going to be some like little gremlins that get mad at me for saying this in the, I don't know, maybe not the comments, but like maybe the live chat. But like, if you guys know any like female MyTeam content creators, I would like to get like a female perspective on this game, because that's something we didn't get to do this past year. So it'd be really nice to hear that kind of perspective, because we basically just only hear from like bros 24/7. So it'd be nice to hear from, some like a female perspective, or just different perspectives than we've been able to hear from. So that's something I'm hoping we can do next year.
Ashley Gaming. There you go. I threw a name.
Okay, cool. I'm not really plugged in.
I threw a name.
Pretty loves Pink too, man. You gotta
It's quite a good little transition. So yeah, when we come back next year, we'll be having like a lot of guest changes, right? So we're going to try and mix things up a little bit more, get more people from the community in, try and be a little bit more diverse. We're going to have 3 people probably on every week, which gives us a little bit more space to do a little bit more. But yeah, we're running it every week. Ludez, do I have your permission to end? Or...
You may end.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, again, a big thank you to everyone who supported this year. It's created incredible opportunities for me personally, and having friends like these, man, gives your life a lot of value, and I take a lot of value in everything that we've done this year. A big thank you to all the guests that have come on, especially people like JD and Mojo who have come on like every month to kind of vibe with us. It's been amazing. We all go back. I'll touch a little bit of what Josh said. We all go back to like the pandemic times where I'd sit there watching your guys' content religiously. I might chat to you in a stream now and then. Both of you were streaming on Facebook, and I might pop in now and then and say hello. And it's amazing we got to a point on this podcast where I could like call you guys friends, peers, and we can talk regularly. Not something I would have imagined happening a few years ago. So a big thank you to everyone who's been on, and the biggest thank you to everyone who's watched and supported this and made it a thing. Because us just chatting for a bit is just a couple of mates chatting. You guys have turned it into a thing. A podcast, a routine every Sunday, whatever you want to call it. So we appreciate all of you, and until next year, peace out.